did George start?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
Jeff, I thought you might be bringing us cookies or something, or brownies or something.
For Valentine's?
Yeah.
I baked them today and all.
That's what I figured out, that's why I got some M&Ms left.
Yeah, I don't think that kind of crap. So this morning, Sarah's like, Happy Valentine's Day, and I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I don't do much of flowers, I ain't figured out that. I spend that money on flowers in a week or so later.
I know. They're
Yeah.
dead, yes.
Yeah.
Right off the
And
way.
flowers ain't cheap.
No.
No.
Yeah, I heard what your girls did. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. They went all out, didn't they?
Pulling Nate there, but what you got? So we have the group text, you know, all those guys help each other.
Oh, yes, right.
Sam sent the deal this morning, said something about some halftime deal or something. Every one of us put, I don't know, didn't see it because didn't watch the game.
Oh, no.
Sam must have been the only one that watched the game.
Well, I wasn't impressed with that, but she like that.
Didn't even, I popped in there a couple times just to see who was winning, that was it, that's all I did. Sounds like the mama's gonna have a good little get together. She
Yeah.
must love having a little party.
She does. Like, now that she's retired, all she does is cook and
Yeah.
stuff, so, yeah. So good for us.
Quite the cook too, from what Todd tells me.
Yes, she's very good. She didn't pass that trait down to me, though.
Shoot. I bet she did.
Oh, yes, on the way to Emporia, we had to teach Courtney how to make homemade gravy over FaceTime.
Oh my.
But of course, Todd took over the.
Oh yeah,
because,
yeah. You're not gonna get a word in.
No, so he's like,
Todd
no,
was
that's how you do it.
Mr. Toddy Crocker.
Yes.
Well, Jason, I'm screwed for the next couple of days. Can't play golf today, gotta help the Drugs gather cattle. Can't golf tomorrow, I'm selling cattle. Oh, really chapping me too.
Did you get any in last week?
Yeah, one,
Did you?
yeah, we got in, 22 holes or something on, I don't remember what day it was. Yeah.
I was gonna try to get out and never did make it out.
Well, we ended up, whatever day that was, we had basically a 3-on-3 scramble. And, we had to go with, what, 2 or 3 extra holes to
Oh, yeah?
see who won it, yeah. I was actually,
My short game usually sucks.
my short game was on that day, and we were actually playing against Chance.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, where are you coming up with these shots today? I'm like, I don't know, just luck.
If you're like me, you can never get them all to come together
No.
on the same day.
Yeah, I mean, like that day, my drives weren't the best, but, my short game was pretty good, my putting was good, and actually long irons were decent, you know, but for me, that would probably suck for people like you, but I mean, yeah. I got a lot of bad habits, let's just say that. It's one of those sports I wish I would have started when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I had near the problems I have today. My worst
How old
one,
were you when you started?
3 years ago.
Oh, really? You only played that?
Well, I mean, we played years ago, like once a year, you know, or something like
Right,
that. But
yeah.
no, as far as just consistent playing, it was about 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So my worst thing is, I want to see where that ball is. Pull my head.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at that. But dipping is the worst now, probably.
Yeah.
How's cutting game doing in ball?
Boys are okay. They're 10 and 7, I think. Girls are 1 and 16.
Good.
Pretty sad year.
Good what?
Sad year for Cunningham girls basketball.
Oh, okay.
I've heard it.
It'll be years like that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You sign this?
Need a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion. It's just a change of ownership.
Looks like,
Do we have to get a name too?
I don't believe we need to.
You look at the net change, $96.12.
Yeah. Transfer ownership on it.
Truck ownership on truck, $96.12. I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Oh, this pile, you got your piles coming
I'm
out.
trying to see, a lot of
Separated
a lot of
out.
transfers coming through. So Shauna, it looks like just a lot of miscellaneous type stuff.
Yes, and also Linda will be coming in with me, so if you have any
Well,
questions.
you wanna
we
wait
can-
till then?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll do
Yeah.
that.
Make sure just change the funds to different accounts.
And that's saves all that stuff, looks like then. One was paid by 2022, supposed to be out of 2021.
yep,
so-
exactly, yep.
Wait till then, okay. Oh, boy.
That's all.
Transfers right there. Is Nolan on the end today?
No,
So he's got an inordinate spending authorization. Do you know about that?
I'm trying to think what it was for.
Hey, Hannah? Do you know about Nolan's inordinate spending authorization?
What?
Do you know about Nolan's inordinate spending authorization?
Yes, I believe it's for, they had to dig something out here by
It says sewer ejector pump at jail.
yeah, do you want me to call him up here so we can explain?
No, I don't
it?
know that we need to. I mean, I just,
Yeah, he just needed that so it could get paid.
Hazel's replaced one sewage ejector pump on 1/25/2022. They were back to replace the second pump on 2/3. Pumps failed and had to be replaced in order to prevent sewer flooding inside. I think that's kind of important, dude.
Oh, this is something different. Yes, that's over at the jail. It happened last week, just all of a sudden, so.
Poop back
Since it,
up.
yeah, since it was over 1,000, he wanted to get that into you
Okay.
before he paid that this time.
You guys want to talk to Nolan about that? Or are you good with it?
They've already did the work, haven't they?
$1,785.25.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye. It's probably one of the bills he didn't have much choice on.
No. I mean, you have poop coming back.
And that will come out of his account fund, right?
Buildings and grounds.
Okay.
Employee benefits. And then AP.
Yep, yeah, paid for, employee benefits for $55,164.24.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This is what we approved last week, right? You want that there?
Yep, that's fine. Thank you.
Thanks for lunch.
Don't mind if I go?
Yeah.
You're important. Important.
Hey, Hannah.
I think she just stepped
Did she?
out.
Okay. That's her.
Linda.
Huh?
That was Linda.
You gotta be quicker.
I think we're just approving drug dog expense. But there's other stuff attached to it, so I don't know.
Dude, $99. Well, I'm assuming this other stuff he already approved out of his own account.
Yeah, that's nice as well.
Should I know anything about it? You know
I
anything?
don't.
Huh?
I don't know.
Looks like you're about to, great chances out.
Oh, I know. It's like that's surprising.
No, it's not.
Well, you got $49.86 for January 6th of 22. And you have $49.86. What's that be? Got your calculator? Let's see. Looks like they got dog food in February 4th of 2022. And they have another expense for dog food on January 6th of 2022. They're both $49.86 each, and that's why it came up to $99.72.
That'll work out.
That's what it looks like to me.
Just for the dog food.
$99.72 for the drug dog. Can you approve that or sign it? Or?
No, I assume so, yeah.
I'll make the motion.
Well, I may ask her when she gets in here to be sure
Okay.
what she's looking for.
Well, I'm assuming that's what's
Highlight.
highlighted stuff. I'm assuming. Because that's the only two receipts you have on the back too.
Right. That's so that. Give him something really salty at that time. I don't know if you can ever gave him that back.
First people to try though, I know that.
Just guard himself.
Yeah.
You take yours to the sale barn, let them feed them for a couple of days before sale.
I took 45 stairs Saturday. That's it down.
We didn't do that too.
I think that was off.
Well, they get settled in,
Yep.
they feed them good, and they drink up water that morning after. I think it does. And it's cheap. It doesn't, I mean, it's gonna cost you the same thing too.
Yeah. I used to do it just the opposite. I think it's a lot better now.
You take in the morning out?
I used to take them in the morning out. Get all stressed
Yeah.
out. Don't get them all in.
Yeah, it's a lot less stressful.
What, and the cattle settle down, like you said.
We'll start 2 minutes early.
I'm okay with you,
There you go.
You guys ready?
Sure.
Come on up.
It's Monday, you're asking for it.
Better bring a chair with you.
Ready to elaborate.
This is a good chair up there somewhere. We got some people up there.
How's David?
Doing all right?
Good.
Yeah.
He's not coming up here.
Hold it down back here.
Okay. So, number one, I talked to the guy at Central Power Systems about the excavator rent.
Yep.
And he is going to credit us for January and February.
That was a question I had on last meeting, AP. We had the excavator rent on that, and I was wondering how long it's gonna do that.
So, yeah, I mentioned to him that there were some concerns. We thought we would get the excavator sooner than that when we agreed to rent.
Right.
So he said that we can use it as normal, just no misuse.
Its
And
due date
then-
for the new one was when? January?
It's changed about 800 times, but he just told me this last time. It's supposed to ship to us in Wichita on the 15th of this month.
Tomorrow.
Yes. So I think that's them shipping to Wichita, then they get it outfitted, finish it up. and
Thanks for
ship it
doing that.
here. Yeah. no
Someone down
problem.
asked her, I said, their due date, they missed it, that isn't hard to do.
Right. Well, and some of those things are out of his control too, because it was
Yep.
sitting on a ship, waiting to get to port. So, I do have that Schwab-Eaton contract. There was some emailing back and forth. I had Richard look it over, and this one is approved by him. So, there is this date at the front, and then it is set up just for Ryan to sign, I believe, is how we have it. Chairman.
Deal.
Need a motion to sign that, please, Dave?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Just one place, yeah?
Yeah, just the one signature. I can do the date on the front. Okay. Howard Bridge is opened today. I have updated bridge maps for you guys.
Darren, glad you have the honors.
Which one's Howard Bridge?
It's number 19, which was at,
This is west, right up, and down. Believe that one.
it's at 90, between 90 and 80 Ave.
Yep.
So 90 Road.
Yep.
Up.
No,
It's that one.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
oh,
Yes.
90.
One more gone.
Yeah, but.
But we're back on that.
About that. So we did have an emergency closure from our inspector. This is not like the full report on load rating. This one was too dangerous to leave open. So if you guys want to look at that fun.
What
Please
number
turn
is
it
it?
up by Jeff's house.
It is on Northeast 70 Road between 110 and 120 Avenue.
Right here somewhere.
So I do have updated bridge maps for you guys.
You know where that's at? Looks like a shallow one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's the
Where was
listing.
it at?
It is
Right here, Northeast 70.
Northeast 70 Road between 110 and 120
Right here.
Avenue.
There. Right there. That's right. It's up in here somewhere.
It's pretty close, yeah.
Be just
A couple miles south.
west of your house. Northeast 70, aren't you on 70?
You're welcome.
Yeah. I don't recognize the bridge, but yeah.
You will now.
I will now.
You get it there, so you'll know.
Hmm.
Is that Friday they closed it down there?
Mhm.
So,
Yikes is right. Basically, if you read the description, there are so many piers and piles that are 90% to 100% decayed. It is timber substructure, and then it has a cement deck, so it's got a lot of weight on it.
Oh, wow.
and they have just disintegrated. I can't even believe it's still standing.
So you're still planning on putting the culvert in the Singer, so that takes care of that one, so really that's not even a bridge.
They are starting on Zimmerman tomorrow, our temporary emergency structure.
Oh.
Big culvert that we're gonna put in there. So that will start this week.
You notice the date, the year that all these bridges were built?
I haven't looked at that yet.
So yeah, I did add all that extra information, so I printed you the big listing.
1945.
So we keep kind of track of all of this, so it'll tell you how long it is, sufficiency rating, year built.
I'll be damned.
And the weight limit that it currently has, when we closed it, what the detour distance is. So you guys will have all that too.
Corwin Bridge, 187 foot. Bridge, 171, and that's gonna be the.
Well, this last one that we just closed, it's 216 feet long.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It doesn't, I gotta find out what
Where's the picture of that bridge?
I was just, so that one that kid hit, is it built probably about 45-ish? Because it'd be same kind of, like that Corwin Bridge and all in, and kind of the same type of structure.
Bars off.
Oh,
See, I would never go down.
Oh,
there.
you mean
right.
down there at your grandma's place?
Yeah.
On 120. I don't know.
Which one are you talking about?
That is not close.
Oh, it's not closed. Well, I'd have to
Either one on 120.
I'd have to look it up. It's in that bridge.
But you have
report.
record of when that was. I was just out of curiosity when that was built, because it's been there a long time. As long as anybody down there remembers, that's always been there.
Yeah.
Are we pursuing his insurance for that?
Amy checked into it. I remember what she said now.
Yeah, that's an Amy question, because that all went straight to her.
Alright, I think we should, because we've done that on other, like, so for instance, the bridge up in his territory that somebody snagged or tore up, we went after their insurance for that. I think we need to make sure we stay on that, because it's no different than,
Right, right.
and if we're not gonna do it for one, we shouldn't have done it for everybody.
Yeah, no, I believe she is, but
Okay.
that's, she does all the insurance, so we'll
Okay,
know.
I'll ask her when she comes in then.
Yeah.
And he took care of that, right?
Hmm?
Didn't he end up taking care of that?
The one in his territory.
Oh, the other one, yeah. Yeah, we're square.
Okay.
Did you guys all get it? Okay. On the Thomas Pitt Bridge, I did complete the right-of-way, so my next step is moving the utilities, which I am hoping will start this week or next. And then when that's done, that one should get to moving a lot more quickly.
Yeah, when you look at this one, it makes me wonder, and I know Mike, you've probably been up there too, wonder if that could be a concrete low water deal. It doesn't look like it's that.
Over here on top.
Well, the one by your place.
Well, that's the one I was just telling. That's more down in Shonda's area, but, I know where it's at now.
Doesn't
Yeah.
look like to be a deep ditch to go.
But it
down.
can't be a high travel road. Right?
I haven't seen that bridge.
When it is, we get to hear some of that stuff.
Oh, no, they treat me good for
Do they?
Yeah.
But
I don't think that's too long for.
I wonder. It's a long gap, isn't it?
It is.
What does it say? there?
216. That's, I thought the Thomas one was big, but that 216, that's huge. Well, that Corwin one is 187. Yeah. Wow. I will be actually pretty close to that today. Yeah, there in town.
Have you looked at this bridge, the one they disposed? It looks like the deck is in pretty decent shape.
they closed it at quitting time Friday.
Friday afternoon, yeah, so I just forwarded that to Damien this morning.
How far along are they on their inspection?
They
Or do you know?
don't tell me.
You don't have any.
They won't tell me those
Really?
things, no. Mm-mm. But speaking of which, we do need to order more barricades in
Two, I
anticipation.
believe. closed too.
Right.
Didn't we just order some? We already used all them?
Oh,
Most
yeah,
people
those
didn't
were
tear
just,
up, yeah.
mhm.
Do we
Yeah.
have trail cams set up next to any of those? I mean, not that you want to say it out loud right now, but.
I mean, we have before. I don't know that anything's come of it. I know that when Kurt was here, those were his cams. I have asked the sheriff to set up cameras at other ones, but again, nothing has come of it.
Well, I think I've got somebody in my area that's pushing those signs over. I'm gonna get to the bottom of that too.
But yeah, Tracy does have
Because-
trail cams. If you want him to set some up, you can speak. to
4
him.
of them that Garrett put up are already back down.
I know.
And the signs gonna get where it's gonna be awful expensive.
Well, but like somebody was complaining, why are they screwed into the ground? Well, that's why we had to screw them into the ground, because somebody drives by and pushes them in, and then somebody else comes through there and we have an accident.
Or the wind blows them.
Yeah.
We have tons of wind here, so.
Garrett is constantly putting them back up, constantly,
And that
And
takes a lot of time and money.
and repairing them.
Repairing them. So, yeah. So I'd like to make a smaller order now, and I say smaller, a $9,000 or $10,000 order now in anticipation. I don't know how many they're gonna close, and I'm just afraid if they close another 20 bridges,
We won't have
we
anything
won't,
posted.
right.
That one down there on, you probably have to have a certain kind of sign in the middle of the road, right?
Mhm.
Cause I know down there on that Singer Bridge, just got a sign on the side that says road closed. I mean,
Yeah.
how come we can't have a road closed sign? Or do you have to have certain ones? Cause that's what you got there, is a road closed sign. But there may be barricades down there. I
There's
don't know.
barricades down there, so, right, so you have to have one that warns you that something's coming, and then you have to have the
And one by the
barricades
bridge
that are
To
there.
block it.
Mhm.
Let me take that bridge out and have those two.
Yeah,
Right?
it's on the list.
Just which
A
list?
huge list.
I
Yeah.
know, I know.
I got a quick question for you on this bridge. It looks like it's got a good deck on it. Is there any way, if and when we do get away dry piling, we put piling on the outside instead of underneath it? And run beams underneath it to keep the deck?
Well, no,
Young man?
I don't think he's had a chance to look at it, so.
Yeah, they,
Instead of,
on some situations, we've talked to contractors about putting piling on either side of the bridge and running a beam across the bottom of it. It would just depend on what the substructure of the bridge is. I know you said it's a concrete
It's a
deck,
quarter-place concrete deck.
but if it's got wooden stringers
It's got
in
wooden
it,
stringers in
It
it.
does, yeah.
then I can almost guarantee you at least 1 or 2 of those are gonna have to come out.
And so that.
So you're gonna have to pull the top of the deck off
Yeah.
anyway.
No, gee.
Mhm.
well, I was hoping that the stringers were good.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
the
so too.
Like the brewery bridge, it's all steel. We was talking about the same thing on it, just driving a pile on the outside and running the beams underneath it. It would be a lot cheaper. Which, I mean, you can't see it, you wanna see that?
Yeah, you need to look at his, he's right, I mean, the deck looks all right.
I mean, if you could run the straight with a pile on the outside and leave the deck, I mean, instead of rebuilding the whole bridge.
I have some pictures that Garrett took when he closed it underneath, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of messed up stringers.
That's just a food for thought thing.
Sure.
If we could do that to save us some money and get them.
Okay, Damien and the welder, we want,
You want me to bring up the welder? Damien asked about me purchasing it. Didn't know if you should put it up for a public bid or.
I thought we got one out. Oh, the fuse welder,
Still-
use
still-
welder.
our old welder that we replace it.
Oh, with the semi?
Yeah, well, you can use a sealed bid or, Damien was interested in buying it, but I don't know if that's fair for the rest of the time.
Well, we can't do it that way. It's got to go for a sealed bid. He can put a sealed bid in it if he
Yeah,
wants
that's
it.
what I thought. 'Cause
Zane, you can't use that for like a backup, or
We already have one.
you have a backup,
Yeah,
okay.
the truck that's down still has a welder on it.
Okay,
We got 4 welders and only 3 trucks right now.
okay.
Do you want to put it up for bid? You want to keep it?
Buy it or put it online or something for online auction or something.
Either one.
So you might still get it, Damien.
Just have to keep my eye on it.
I kind of told Mike, I figured that's what was going to happen. You gotta give the public an opportunity to buy it, so we sell it to one person, they're gonna have to have mine to get a chance.
Okay. And then the fun stuff, at least for me. we met with Tom Lowe with Hercules Machinery. And they're the only North American distributor or manufacturer of this particular pile driver. This brand, it's called Mobax. They're out of Finland. They were the inventor of the side grip pile driver, so that's pretty cool. I think I forwarded you guys some prices and things like that. There should be this sheet right here.
I haven't had to use it yet, it's all.
But I did print off this spreadsheet for the money, so you guys didn't have to wait for your emails for that part at least.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, I'll get that pulled up right now.
Okay. I do have all of the emails that I got from him, and I do have some of these brochures so you guys can see kind of what we're talking about. There's two different main products that we're really interested in. And that would be the SP50H pile driver. I kind of highlighted them down there. That's the side grip pile driver. They make it in Indiana.
This one?
Yes,
You probably
there's
see a
these two
picture
down
of it.
here at the bottom. So here's the whole, I didn't mark where it was in here at all.
You want to look at it on what you got.
SP50H1, which is going to be this one right here. And then we have,
How'd that go the other day?
it was a really good meeting. He answered a lot of questions. I am emailing him some geotechnical reports that we've had done over the years because we discussed how hard the ground is basically kind of in that southeast corner. I have 3 or 4 different geotechnical engineering books. They were already done. The studies were already done for past bridges and stuff like that. So he looked through them to see the hardness of the ground when they do their borings. Pretty much that's the only spot that's super ridiculously tough, which explains why Darren had all the questions.
I have a good question.
Yeah.
I got the answer I thought I was going to get to be honest with you.
Sales pictures.
So
No.
I've marked those two.
I just had one good question. Is that vibrating pile driver going to get it cleared down the bed?
No.
Not for the whole county.
The-
He was on.
So
Right.
this is the bottom one, I take it to,
Well, here's I've marked.
oh, alright.
This is the
I told
pile
him
driver, and then this one is the hammer.
one of our guys just east of us, and the one west, it's completely
So
different.
this is, yeah, this would be the DH15. Yeah, okay, there it is.
Right, and this one is more of a in-depth just on the side grip. So
Looks pretty
the,
fun to run, Davey.
Do what?
Looks pretty fun to run.
It would be interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
so the summary, the side grip pile driver is gonna take less time to get here, it costs less money, and it will do 75 to 80% of the county without having to have somebody else finish it or need something else to finish it. That hydraulic hammer will probably do the entire county without having to have somebody else come finish it for us. It does take 12 to 16 weeks to get here, and it's more expensive. And it's less safe because you cannot start those with the hammer as safe as you can with the side grip. You want to explain more on that?
You can't grip the pipe with the hammer. The side grip pile driver, you can stand the pipe up, start it. And the hammer, you can't. You have to get the pipe in the ground and get started and then put the hammer on top.
Gotcha.
It'd be similar to what we do with our crane.
Yeah. But a lot safer.
No, the hammer would be just like what we did with the crane. You have to stand the pipe up. and get it
But I
started.
mean, this deal here looks a lot safer than that.
Right, and it will do, like I said, 75 to 80% of the county. Which if you look at your bridge map, that's where most
How
of
big,
our bridges
how big
are.
a
Right.
diameter will that grab?
12
inch
13
pipe,
inches.
12 or 13 inch pipe, yeah. It tells you down here. Yeah, 2 to 13 inches.
Wow.
Like it?
I want them both.
Yeah.
He was trying to get the guy to do a free demo for us. It was funny.
You guys are talking me into bringing it down for free.
Right. They do come set it up and train our operators. That's all included in the package. We will have to pay freight. We have to purchase hoses.
I guess my question is, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of leaning towards Damien's deal. And I thought about this over the weekend, both of them. And the reason I'll tell you,
I am too.
So am I.
Yeah.
the reason is, one is picking the pipe up and getting it started.
Right.
Either you gotta have something to do it, or you're gonna have to have the excavator there with a chain to hold it up, or you gotta do something, gotta stand the pipe up. But I still question, and the reason I say two is, he says he'll do 3/4 of the county. How you know? Because nobody's drove it.
I was gonna say it'd be probably less than half.
Because the guy over west, that's what they use, and he's just calling it good. And they've never had a hammer on it, so how do you know they're getting this where you want it to be? So that's why, and the guy east of us, he said all along that if you do it with the vibratory, you're going to hammer it anyway.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and the issue that I had is by doing the side grip pile driver, we're kind of, in the money that we would spend for a contractor to come in behind us and driving the rest of the way with the hammer, we'd be better off just purchasing the hammer too.
By the
You're
time
still
you-
gonna, yeah,
In the long
you're
run,
still gonna
yeah.
spend the money.
And they're both quick disconnect. They can go through, they can set all these pilings, come back with the hammer and drive them.
Let's just say I'm not going to trust the vibratory hammer to drive it where we need to be. That's where I'm at. And I think he probably was honest with us. I think it probably will do it, but how do you know? Because I don't know how many people drove it after they did it. Has he ever drove his after he did the vibratory hammer?
Larry? I'm not sure.
He just
I
trusted
haven't-
us deep enough. I mean,
Based on his experience, he felt it was solid and
And I'm-
to bearing.
I'm not saying he isn't right. I'm just saying,
And
in my opinion,
if you come back say 2 years from now to buy the hammer, it's gonna be a heck of a lot more expensive.
Right. And I
It
do
wouldn't take
believe
2
he
years.
said,
You'd
Well, it's
be
gonna
the-
take us a
you'd be
little
the
while.
one driving, right?
12 to 16.
You almost need somebody else in case you're not there that knows how to do it too, right?
Unless there's all three of us on the crew that day, we wouldn't put piling in with just two people. It's just not safe. It's having an extra person, even if there's just an extra eyes to know if the pipe's starting to lean one way or the other. There's no way we'd put piling in if I wasn't there.
Yeah.
yeah, the lead time on that hammer is a lot longer.
Yeah.
But we could get started on a lot of them.
that's just my opinion. It's just one of me.
And I agree with you, Darren.
I just don't think that I'm gonna trust it. And that may change if we decide to go with it and we go drive it with a hammer and it doesn't go anywhere. I'll change my mind, but I'm pretty sure from the southeast corner, you're gonna drive it.
Well, yeah, and that's my concern for that little corner, because there were those geotechs from that whole area, and then the one from down there, it was insane.
There's
How
spots
hard
over
that
there
ground
that
is.
not even a hammer will do it.
No.
They had to bore them first.
That low water bridge, right there just east of Bluff, McCormick Bridge.
McCormick Bridge, yeah.
You can drive down, it's nothing but rock. You can drive down and pick it up.
Yeah, it's just a totally different sort of ground over there. So that was the concern, but the rest,
And you had mentioned before about somebody hiring somebody to come drive piling while Damien and his crew were building other bridges. That's not true either. Damien's gotta be there to tear this bridge apart to get them to the piling to drive them, so that's,
Well, I think we need to drive our own piling. You're not gonna get me to change my mind on that.
I'm getting to the point too where I think that's
I-
going
But-
to longer.
I mean,
absolutely.
You can drive piling on a bridge and you got plenty of work to do before you have to drive piling
Right,
again. I mean, that's just
right.
it. Tear it out, drive the piling, and you got two guys to do the
Well,
work.
my thought, I wonder if we could pull somebody off, these dry times, I know you're trying to clean some stuff up after the snow still. But you ever get to a time where you're kind of caught up where you can sacrifice a
hasn't
person?
been since I've been
So
here.
you haven't been to that yet? Okay, well, never mind, scratch that idea. I'm just wondering if we could move somebody around so that piling could still be in, never mind.
Yeah,
And then your
it's-
bridges are gonna still be closed, even if the piling's put in, it doesn't.
Right, I'm just trying to think about getting ahead.
Yeah.
I think over time, this is gonna save you guys a fortune. We're gonna get them done a lot quicker.
We don't have to wait on anybody else either.
But my next question is, which, the 21 budget, I didn't know we had two pickups, but that was, you guys that put that in.
Yeah.
And I didn't know we had 2 pickups in that budget for 21. We didn't find, of course. My other problem is, we do have 2 pickups in again this year for 22?
2 in Public Works and 1 for Special Bridge.
Okay.
Are those
the money we
active
have,
though? Are those pickups?
No, I mean, it's not have to, that's just Melinda's plan that she set out, that 10-year plan, that's what's on the schedule to be replaced
well, I'm not
this
sure we
year.
don't need 1 for road
So-
and bridge, to be honest with you, but the money you have there is the 100,000 is gonna buy about 1 pickup. Cause they're gonna run you, what, 60,000 now probably, I'm guessing?
I have not
First
priced them
recorded
out.
number going right.
Right, so I have not priced anything out, this is just what
Oh,
is
yeah.
on
And
the plan.
I hate to get away from that plan though, because there's a reason to buy them that year, because
Sure.
you're not gonna get it again for another
We need
Right.
to keep them updated, they're getting
6 years.
2004.
Well, we already skipped out on, buying 2 last year, so.
And I think all our pickups got over 100,000, I'm sure,
Oh, yeah.
way over 100,000.
Sure.
So I hate not to get, I like to get 1 and move Mike's down to somebody else or whatever.
Well, and
In
I
the,
don't know that we necessarily need one in Special Bridge. Do you think your 2 trucks are
You're
good?
talking
Because we kinda
350,000.
decided not to mess
Did you
with
get
that
those
third
done?
one yet.
Where are you gonna come up with that other?
Running right now, okay.
This
The other
this
truck, the truck
300,000,
is being replaced, the transmission's out.
Yeah.
this
You're the
300,000
man.
is separate from what we
Right,
have for
this
the pile
is
driver.
separate, this is what we currently have in 2022, separate from this rollover.
From the
that's over here.
376 from.
Yes, that's the
We have that.
rollover from last year.
So it's in addition to that for
To
2020.
buy the 300.
Yes.
and we can use that, right?
Yes.
When you say like mower 30,000 or something, you
This-
talking 2 mowers or 1 mower?
That's what she sets up every year.
This is what's on the schedule, and
That's
Melinda
the-
didn't have a chance to go over it, like, we haven't gone over it. We were gonna go kind of revamp what we thought the prices would actually be versus,
Yeah, 'cause the
those were
tractors-
all put in by a former department head who
Tractor's
estimated those.
10,000 is not gonna be nowhere near cut it.
Now, you're
Right.
talking,
Right,
oh,
Well, that's what I
I know.
mean, but the mowers aren't 30,000.
no, it's
It's about 15.
Yeah, 15, 16,000.
so 40,000 for the unit.
So how much you say for both pieces of
It
equipment?
was like 350,000 or whatever.
yeah, I put that on there, 340, 600
Oh, yeah,
pieces.
340, 600.
And then plus
So is
our
there,
hoses.
you would know this, this is probably a stupid question, so there's no like state assistance for something like this where they're coming in here closing our bridges? I mean, is there any, where would we get assistance?
Probably not, but it's something I could look into. Right now, everybody's really hyper-focused on the infrastructure bill and looking towards getting their fingers in that. I know I am. They have a lot set aside for bridges specifically.
Oh, yeah.
I know that they're
So
gonna
maybe
have
concentrate more on that.
yeah, they're gonna have an off-system program that instead of an 80-20 match, if we're doing rehab instead of full rebuild, it will pay 100%. So I'm really, I've got a couple of bridges in mind for that still have good
Well,
ideas.
we did save, well, with the grader and the excavator for sure.
Mhm.
And we used some of that money to buy that low boy, but
Right, which that low boy was scheduled to be replaced in 2025, so in 2025,
We'll be ahead of the game.
we'll be ahead, right.
Did you ask that guy on the pins on that excavator, driving all that vibration?
I didn't ask him. You see the hammer.
What do you
the
think,
hammer,
Damien?
The hammer, it don't drive.
Like the pins on that excavator, when you're driving, just constantly driving.
It's not the power, it's not the excavator that's driving it.
Yeah.
It's the hammer.
I know, but you're still gonna wear those pins, aren't you?
No, it don't have
because you're
anything.
setting your pressure down on top of the pipe, and the pipe is what's taking all the pressure. You're not gonna have anything, weight holding down on the arm of the excavator itself.
That's what that big cage is. It pushes on the
Right.
cage, so don't have, the only one that may have anything to do is the vibrator.
I'd like to see
Probably
it,
pretty
I
wide.
guess I'd like to see it first.
It's probably on YouTube.
And
Yeah.
They
then you
are.
could also
They're
full
really
poly.
cool.
Really? Oh,
Yes.
you think?
Oh, yeah. I'm a total nerd with that.
Well,
This is so cool. Yeah.
Would you ever imagine your life looking at the excavators driving and piling? This is where we're at now.
I'm really bonding with my son right now.
All right, that's cool.
He
Enjoying your
loves
life.
excavators. It's his favorite thing on earth.
Well, it's whatever, but I still think for this year, you better figure out a way to get one pickup anyway, because I think our pickups are getting to the point we need to start.
Well, and I think we can. I think we're gonna go back to this rollover from last year that we pull from for the excavator attachments, and then you'd still be able to get those pickups. Now, I'm always in
Right.
favor of making those pickups last though. You know, how
I
many
think
people?
some of them probably getting
I
to
know.
the last point.
You say it's got over 100,000 miles, and I always say every vehicle in my house has got over 100,000 miles. So, how many
I'm
people
saying
in
some
the
of them
county?
200,000.
But how many people in this county are driving stuff just like that and making it work? And here we are asking them, well, continue to drive your old vehicle that's got over 200,000 miles just so we can have stuff under 100,000 miles. I don't think that's fair to taxpayers. So that's where I look at take care of the stuff we have.
But they're
And it
working
goes
on
back to those things that
something
we've looked at plugging into those
Not
pickups.
easy miles.
If we've got somebody abusing the pickup, then those
Right.
things that we're talking about plugging in will show up if we've got abuse
Right.
going on. Not saying that happens.
Right, my concern is we have a group of 6, like 04
2004.
Chevys. There's 6 of them that we got in 04, and those are the ones that are really starting to drop like flies.
I'm saying,
So-
we did it on this plan for a reason, so we ain't stuck with 6 pickups that are gonna be
Right.
totally junk at one time.
Agreed,
I
agreed.
want-
Which I'm already looking, because these are on the plan, I'm gonna get with, we'll
That's
go
what
out-
I'm saying.
We'll go out for bid.
Cause we'll be
and
right
see
back
what
to
we
the same
got.
boat we're at. We got 10 cop cars that are how many thousand? They're all gonna be at the same point. We're all gonna have 6 of them at one time. They're just gonna be working on
But as
that.
taxpayers, look at those and wonder, well, how can you not get more than 100,000 miles out of something? Are we not taking care of that stuff?
Okay, that's the reason we put the plan in.
I know what you're saying, we gotta do it so they don't pile up and all of a sudden everything's broken down and
And
doesn't work.
then 10 years from now, we got, oh my gosh, we got all these pickups are plumb worn out. You're gonna buy all of them at one time.
Yeah, we are,
This
so,
is, this is separate than the pile
it is
driver anyway.
separate.
I mean,
We'll
two different things.
argue about that later.
Yeah, yeah, we need to move on.
We don't argue much.
So you guys are agreed that you want to do both of these?
Well, we need a motion for that, if you guys wanna entertain, I'll entertain it, if somebody wants to do that. Whichever way you wanna go.
It's 350,000?
340,600 plus whatever the hydraulic hose is gonna be three,
And
which
free.
will get pretty close to, yeah.
I don't know how we're not gonna build bridges without weight of dry piling.
I think that's pretty
Mike's
smart.
in agreement, so is Damon,
I'll
so.
make the motion. I think there ain't no way we can build bridges
To
without.
purchase both of them, the SP 50H and the DH 15 Hammer. You made that one? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Aye. Do you oppose? No. Okay. I think we're money ahead doing it that way.
I do too.
So thank you guys for
Well,
spending time looking at that.
We've talked about, we didn't bring that, we've talked about the cranes. By the time you get the crane, get the inspection area, get some out, this is gonna be way faster.
Well, even better than hiring.
And it's
Okay,
even
what's
less
next?
expensive, so I'm
We're
done, that was
rushing.
it. Nope, that was it.
Thank you guys. Thanks, Sheena. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Damien.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Have fun.
Thank you.
I want to come ride with you when you get it.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Hey, I keep forgetting to call you on that one deal up there. I'll call you sometime.
We're gonna have to record.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
By the time you finish.
Just look at it. I mean, I'm talking.
How are you, Chris?
I'm talking E-bridge.
Yeah, you've got Bernadette on your list.
Oh, back to Sheena.
Yeah, mine's gonna be
Thanks,
quick and
Daniel.
Yeah.
painless, hopefully.
Okay.
So I sent you out an email last Thursday, Friday, or something like that, about the fire chiefs in the county would like to put a burn ban on it. I wrote up a burn ban, would be 7 days, and then we would revisit it every 7 days to see where we're at. I don't think it would be prudent to put it on for the full 30 days
Well, I
that they're
really
wanting.
think, couple of things. Most people got common sense, know not to burn right now, but then they also,
Down at Salt Plain.
they also think, well, this fire won't get away from me. Well, they do.
Yeah, they do pretty quickly.
But my thing is, like a couple other people said to me, well, yeah, you put a burn ban in, but you still got people going out throwing their cigarettes out and stuff.
You do, and you're never gonna go away from all of it, but if we put the burn ban in, then at least it's
I don't
public
wanna
knowledge.
go more than 7 days. 'Cause 7 days from now, it might be raining,
Mhm.
might be raining Wednesday. But
Yeah.
if they suggest it, I'm okay with it. I mean, they're the ones fighting the fire.
Fire chief's right.
We'll come revisit it next Monday, see where we're at.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a resolution, require all 3 signatures.
Darren, you want to make that motion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And one thing that I'm not doing, we're not gonna raise speed limit on the cemetery.
You don't vote? Okay. 14th day, this is resolution 2022-5, I believe.
Yes.
Should've brought that up when
I know,
you slipped.
slipping every day, so every day.
So that's till the 21st?
Next Monday.
That's right.
You have to have the ink out there.
What's the fine if somebody gets caught burning like that and doesn't call you?
I had heard there was a fine, but I heard that they also won't, enforce it. So,
It's like $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
That's what it used to be.
alright, Kelsey?
How much they can make that stick, I don't know.
Well, if they would enforce it.
And that's all I had, so you
Alright.
guys are almost back on.
Thank you, Chris, appreciate it. Richard, you and Amy are up.
Hi, Richard. Good morning. I like your tie, man. Supposed to be.
Musical chairs.
Yes.
I stopped with her and talked to you. 2 days later, I called. It was the same thing. Imagine that.
That's on the
I guess right.
Okay, I think we got 3 different things, on the budget request, I think, and Sean and I think Linda got together and worked out what to them, and mostly, I think Sean and Linda kind of makes things work, and we have a contract which, we need to sign, and of course, the sooner we sign it, the sooner we're in line to get their product and be up and running. I think the date now, the last one, which we got late last week, puts us at March 23rd of next year, which would also be the date when the second half would be due.
That would take forever, so he's got an inland spending authorization for that, right, Richard, in that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
12,000.
Yeah.
12,000.
That's the first half.
And you guys got it all worked out where?
Yes, we did.
You went to the right office.
It was some higher math, but we got it done.
Does somebody want to make the motion for that then? Jeff got it, $12,062.50. All in favor?
Aye.
I'll sign
And then the second half is next year, right? March
It's
3rd?
encumbered to this year, but yes, it is next year.
Okay.
And the opioid.
Yeah, I think we had done a resolution.
This is gonna typo.
We had sent to the AGs to be in the pool for the money that's supposed to be coming for that. And we've made almost all the changes, but we need to, we've got one city left in here. The resolution they sent us was for the city, so we've changed it, authorizing it for the county. I probably need to talk to Heather. We're saying that we've got at least $500 in expenses that we've either had up to this point or will have for opioid expense, which I think we probably do. We've got a couple of cities in here.
I can change that.
We'll get that done. And then when we send this back to the Attorney General, then we're supposedly in line to do it. And it provides it to be signed by the chairman, attested by the county clerk, and then reviewed by the county counselor.
Do you want to talk about this? I'll fix that.
Then we'll come back to it. The third thing was the release of the easement on the property up there, 160 and K2. Apparently a very community-minded citizen back in, was it 32 or so, granted 34, granted the county and all the people in the county, he granted it to the county, but allowed anybody in the county that needed to come out to his place and get water.
Is that what that was then? An individual just donated the use of that? Huh.
There may have been something through the, Civilian Conservation Corps or something back then that prompted him, but it just showed up and said anybody could come out and get water there, and they had a right to go over and across his property. And if you remember, Mr. Floyd wanted to, whoever's buying it wants that released, which, and I think you all have talked about that, and that was all fine, it just mattered. And he suggested then the county prepare it, and I suggested no, he could prepare it, and he's had that done, and it appears to be appropriate to me to. I don't know who
I don't have whether we keep it.
So we'll need a motion to allow for the release of this easement, then, correct, Richard?
I'll make the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
I don't know, I'm not gonna be blind.
All opposed? Okay. Is it okay if Jeff doesn't sign this then?
it gets prepared. It was for the commission to approve the execution by the chairman.
Okay. So if
There's no water out there, there's no ponds or nothing out there.
I have no idea.
So if it's got a spot in here for Jeff's signature as well, though.
Oh, that's what it does. Well, I guess he could show that, or just not sign.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Joe, what are you doing? Are you?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Okay, that's got the correct.
So Amy, what do you have? We've got to do it at 10 o'clock. I don't want to rush you, but you got that other one fixed that we need to.
Right there?
So the resolution on that, was it 2 or 3? Do you remember?
No.
No, it was last
It
year.
was last year.
So it would have been 2021-20 something?
27.
27. So,
Let's put on this here.
Richard, do we need another motion to fix this, or just,
I would say a motion to adopt that as
well, we
the
did.
amended resolution.
So we just need a motion to adopt it, the amended resolution. So that being said, I'd entertain a motion for that, guys.
So moved.
All in favor?
That right.
What about the date, Richard? Does that go back to the
No, I think we can,
today?
yeah. We'll email it or fax it to them.
Okay.
I think the 17th is the.
Yeah, he's gonna be pushing it. Pushing it.
Here you go.
Well, you know, we're on the third day week.
Thank you, guys.
I didn't see you sign this, I'm assuming you signed it.
Well, now, come on, Amy. Yes, I
I'll
signed
have to notarize.
that.
We'll check the sheet.
Yeah, you do for video.
Sorry.
You got the video.
Yeah,
Go back and
First, with the COVID restrictions, isn't it okay for you not to witness that now?
I have to witness it by audio video.
Nice try, though. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Richard. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Are you gonna get that back to Floyd then, Mike Floyd, or are you gonna?
Yeah, so we'll get it to him, and he'll take care of the file.
All right. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Richard. Or the buyer can do that, Richard. Thank you. Matt?
That's a major clean. Good morning.
I know, I keep going on that.
Good.
Right.
Good.
Matt, what do you need us to do?
You probably need to call that agenda item back to order.
All right, so we do that on agenda item number four. Number four. Okay.
So you guys on case number SU 01-2022 had asked if it was appropriate for you guys to send the case back to the planning board to have them review the, I lost the word, protest signature petition. What I found out is the statute says that you have, and I'm paraphrasing, the option, one of your options is to, and here's where the statute starts. Return such recommendation to the Planning Commission with the statement specifying the basis for the governing body's failure to approve or disapprove. If the governing body returns the Planning Commission's recommendation, the Planning Commission, after considering the same, may resubmit its original recommendations, giving the reason therefore, or submit new and amended recommendations. Upon the receipt of such recommendations, the governing body, by a simple majority thereof, may adopt or may revise or amend. Oh man, this is small print.
Yeah, it is.
and adopt such recommendations by the respective ordinance or resolution, or need take no further action thereon. So, yes, you guys have the option to return it. You still have all your other options available to you at this point, whether to approve, disapprove, approve as amended, or override and disapprove, or return to the planning board.
Okay, so.
And I will say that the protest petition, the party that signed the protest petition was part of the objection stated in the meeting. Their voice was heard
At
at the planning board level through a representative.
So they heard that, and knowing that, they still recommended to approve the. Okay. What are your thoughts?
They met all the zoning regulations and they approved it, even with their protest.
So, that being said, and knowing that information, you guys have the list of these. You don't have those. And they were
I'll try to
shown
find
as
them. I
email
just
from-
had them.
Oh, last week.
Yeah, it'd be on last week's.
They were on her notes from, I think, February 4th. that they gave us.
I only have one copy, but they are.
I've got my copy
Okay.
of one of these two ones to look at
Yeah.
that.
They would be part of the checklist that we make up for you guys.
That's yours.
I'm looking. Is it on the agenda or is it minutes?
It was on
You remember those now, don't you?
Yeah, I do now, but I couldn't find it in there. We did 6 last week.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, seeing that, I'd entertain a motion out of either of you for whichever direction you'd like to go. Nobody speak?
I'm not liking
I'll make the motion to approve. The board had their, the zoning board heard
Heard the case, they heard people for and people against, and the representative from the protest petition, I believe it was her daughter, spoke.
it. No,
Daughter-in-law, okay, thank you.
maybe not on all, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I didn't check the names before I
No,
came.
that's fine.
well, I don't know why we disagree with them. That's the board to do the zoning, and they met all the zoning requirements. I'm going to adopt the findings and factor recommendation of the planning board in case number SU-01-2022 approved, is what I'm gonna make.
Resolution number 2022 dash, I think it's 5, right? We're up to
It'll be, the next one will be 6.
6, yeah, we just did 5. Okay, so 2022 dash 6. Darren has made that motion, all in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Okay, because it was a protest
kicks it
petition,
out,
it
so-
kicks it out.
So we have to have a full vote.
You have to have a full vote, so it does not pass. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And I will let you guys get on with your meeting.
Thank you.
You guys have a good day.
You too. If you do, you just want to take a quick break for the.
Yes, I would like to.
Please, thank you.
I'll make that motion for a 5-minute recess.
All in favor?
I will vote for that.
And then, Dalton.
Since we're a little ahead of schedule.
Yeah, Dalton,
I'll
yeah,
hand
yeah,
it
Dalton.
and then explain.
But they all sure. Yep. I think so. And
Yeah.
what's his name?
She-
Doing the work. And
Did you find Nolan?
I think they.
Did you tell him things would come apart?
No, it's all running smooth down there.
That OPC 6 fund, that's the fund that the sheriff department pays their dog food out of. You guys just have to approve it each time.
Okay, and it looks different from what it normally does. Usually it comes in with the Tracy's signed off on a diversion fund paper, so.
Yeah, he didn't sign that one this time, but
Okay.
I will get that signature from him.
Okay.
He just wasn't there that afternoon.
Okay, that's all I was gonna say, it looks a little bit different. So do we wait till that paper comes in to sign, or you want us to sign this one?
Go ahead and sign that. That's our new voucher form.
Okay. Oh,
That's
okay.
what Bob made up for us.
Okay, you guys okay with that for the dog food?
Yep. Dog's gotta eat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jan, are you up?
And how are you?
Yep, I'm fine. I do gotta ask you guys this, even though we're going on your agenda, because I talked to the post office. Are we ready to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
I talked to the post office and,
I'll make a motion to reconvene.
I made a motion to reconvene.
All in favor? Okay. Now we're officially ready.
so I talked to the post office because we have some things like from the DEA and some Medicare stuff will only deliver to our physical address. And so I talked to the post office about forwarding that she wants us to either get a post office box or a mailbox at the station. If we get a mailbox at the station, it will have to be one that locks. Or some kind of secure one, because we can't have that.
Right.
Do we have the mail delivered to Anthony, Attica, and Harper?
No, right now it all comes to the courthouse.
And you're wanting to change that to,
Well, there's some things that will, like from the DEA, that they will only deliver to our physical address. They will not deliver to the courthouse. Now, they said we can still have insurance checks and stuff come to the courthouse, but the things that will only deliver to our physical address will have to either have a post office box or a mailbox.
well, since it's gotta come to Anthony, I just assume you put something in Anthony, that's just me, you gotta go to the courthouse anyway, right?
Yeah, it'll stay in Anthony. It's just whether we're gonna get a post office box at the Anthony or post office, or whether we're gonna get a mailbox at the station.
How much cost to get at the post office? Have a box.
I don't know, when I called over there today to ask Chris, she was gone. But last time we had one, I don't remember ever making a voucher for it, so who was paying that? Do you remember?
So we'll put it in a box.
It's been quite several years because you guys were paying for it, yeah.
There's a post.
But they got rid of all the post office boxes
Just go,
3 years
just
ago.
put your mailbox up.
Yeah, and they'll have to come out and mark where they want it on and
Okay.
stuff. But yeah, don't you think, Deb?
We'll just get one to lock.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, you had already approved these two for, this is the stuff for the new ambulance.
Right. Did we, I don't know if we made a motion for that yet, though, did we? We said go ahead, and so the radio, or excuse me, the power load system is, which one again?
I think it was.
Coming out of ARPA funding, right?
Mhm.
So I'll need a motion for $24,985.28, and again, that is. I thought we made that.
No, we approved it.
We said go ahead and then pull it out of the ARPA. I don't think we did make a motion. So we need a motion for that, and again, that's coming out of ARPA funds.
I'll make it.
All in favor?
Aye. How long before you get that?
6 to 8 weeks.
How long before you get the ambulance?
March 15th.
Won't quite match up with it.
Well, right, but we gotta get the graphics on,
It'll be really close by the time you go.
the Jason, the guy that does all our radio stuff, he's gotta come up and install the radio, and then we have to get it inspected so it'll pass, or get a state permit, so.
And then I keep forgetting to bring this up, but up there in her building, there's a lot of flaws, or
Is
few
there?
flaws that the,
And Brian's
Still?
saying,
They have to fix some of that stuff?
no.
Now, the guy that was the contractor, he's
died.
dead, he's gone.
Yeah.
Is there a contact that we can get a hold of with that company?
And
still, or how did that?
And the outside light, when they come in the building, if it starts, they don't.
Now, is that our problem? Or is that
Never did.
I don't think it ever works.
Is there a,
I don't know, because, Mike was looking into that stuff, and then Mike left, and so,
And that guy had died right before Mike had left.
have no one look at it, so.
like I said, so.
Well, the contractor ought to
Well,
come
the
back and fix
contractor's
that
a
stuff.
contractor. I mean, if you have somebody come do something at your house, you're not gonna,
How long
Can you-
was that built?
Been 2 years now.
It's been almost 2 years.
Good luck. Because they're gonna tell you you should've did that.
Well, but if there's record of it, there was communication on some of that stuff to get it fixed.
I can have Nolan go through Mike's stuff and see what,
If there's any contact information left for them, there should be, and somebody should be still.
somebody should be liable for it.
Well, I'd rather them take care of it than us.
Well, I would too.
But, now what do you need?
well, that was the other one we talked about last week.
This is the power.
Oh, that's a power, you gave that one back.
So now I have in front of me, I have the radios, the handheld radios, 2 of them.
Yeah, one of them got lost and the other just don't work anymore.
Okay. So that's for $1,500.
That's coming out of our call, so that.
That'll come out of our,
Yeah,
our budget, yeah.
okay. I entertain a motion.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
I did find out when I went to a safety meeting last week that just like when that tornado hit at Joplin, they had to go back to the VHF system.
Because the 800, did the tower get hit or something, or what happened?
They get wiped out all their towers.
Where's the 800 tower at here, or close to here?
There's one by Sharon and there's one over by Mayfield.
Okay. So can we pick both of those up, or is that?
I think so, yeah, that you can trunk off whichever one you're
Take a heck of a storm to knock those out for us then, wouldn't it?
Probably.
Okay, and then the other one's sitting.
There isn't no 800 towers anywhere close to south of here, either?
The 800s, I do not know. All I know is there's one by Mayfield and one by Sharon.
That's the state of Kansas deal, isn't it, that keeps track of those?
Because they've been doing a lot of work on the last 2 weeks, so.
Okay, and what's this other request for?
Well, those were the rest of the supplies I need to get to finish that new truck.
Okay, so the rest of the supplies, AED Pro, automatic defibrillator
Yeah.
that can show rhythms, also in case meds are needed. Radio has dual mics, so it can be 800 megahertz or 400 megahertz. Medic safe, right? Isn't that what it is? Medic?
Yeah.
I can't read it very good. Badge operated door that monitors access for drug removal. And Ferno powered cot, battery operated cot. Total cost on all those to fit the new ambulance that's coming is $20,600. No, wait.
Yeah, 20,600.
The cot would
That's
be
for the cot.
20,000.
That's for the cot.
The radio's like 7,500.
Oh, you got all that up there.
Yeah.
We talked about all those last week too. Unfortunately, I only moved over 25,000 for equipment because originally when we were going to be able to get rid of the truck, everything was going to come off it to go on the new one. But since we can't get rid of
I
one,
must have hit a wrong button. I've got 6,480,000. We're not done.
I ain't making that much.
You're on your own there, buddy.
What do you got? 6459.84, 1630, 3535.73, and 20,671.77. That looks better. $32,297.34.
So moved.
And that comes out of ARPA funding as well,
Yes.
right, Shawna?
Yes,
Okay. Jeff made that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Jan, you ought to have happy campers in that place.
I know
You ought to.
it. I know it. It'll be fun. It'll be fun once we.
No, it's
They're all
not
lined
fun,
up.
but it's
We get her all lined
I
out.
didn't sign that yet. I didn't put your toe on
We'll see if we get some rain. Well,
there.
Yeah.
When it rain, everybody's happy, right?
Start to think it might be weeks. You know.
One of them have to push it totally out. It's not even showing up on that side anymore. The weather channel still shows it.
dude, that's all I had unless you guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
We're running just about 5 minutes behind. We'll take that 5-minute break. We'll be all right.
Yeah. Shelly's up. Is Shelly coming?
So-
Oh, there you
Here.
are. You're hiding in the corner on camos in that bookshelf.
They put Shelley in the corner.
Nobody puts Shelly in the corner.
For good reason, I'm sure.
Nobody puts Shelly in the corner.
Today they did, that's okay. What up, fellas?
What up?
Happy Valentine's Day
Dude.
to all you little Valentines.
Stop it. You're making me laugh.
Okay, sorry. Well, so I am going to take advantage of my time here, not only to talk about the CID apps, but just to kind of get you guys caught up on a couple of things. So which do you want first?
Whichever one you want to talk about first.
Okay,
We
well,
can do CID and then Joe can get back to work. He's probably got money to make somewhere other than sitting here.
I know, but, okay. Well, we'll talk about the CID then. So, I made a little spreadsheet, because I'm just cool like that, of ongoing projects and where they are. And so, sorry, you're fine. All right, so here's, since I have taken on the CID, we have these ongoing projects. And you can see I've checked where, like where they are in the process. So right now, you know, the Harper County Conservation District is in process. I've got their paperwork. I'm just working on getting that done. Madsen Automotive, we just put in a voucher for his check. Pack and Flavor's already been paid. Idle Hour, I haven't received their paperwork. McKee. And then this past week, we had a meeting and we met about Pronto Tire, which is why Joe's here, and this J7 LLC. So, however, if you look down here, and I need to take off Pack and Flavor, so that would come out of that amount. And the rest are being processed, so that's what we still owe.
That's what we owe, that number?
Yes. The problem is, this is our balance right here. This bottom number.
Yeah, but that 175,000 is over a period of 5 years.
Yes, you're correct. So, and Joe doesn't even know this yet, but the committee recommended approving half of each of the two.
Because this one here is at 100 this year, right?
Yes.
Which one are you looking at?
Top one, it was 100 for the first year and 5 for the next 500 or something like that.
Yes.
No.
Yes, you're right. However, so the committee though has recommended that both Pronto Tire and J7 get up to $100,000. However, over 4 years, because we have to continue to regenerate the fund. So you're getting money. It's just not all in one chunk.
Well, and the question I have, and I hadn't had a chance to talk about it. So, we've got this money earmarked. Let's say, for instance, somebody doesn't come through and do the work.
Right.
And we've denied money to
Other
somebody
people.
that comes in and applies.
Right.
Can they come back and apply?
Can we convert, he's probably saying.
Well, something like that,
Somebody
or
else.
I guess the other part of my question is, okay, so if we've given money to all these people and somebody comes in and uses it all first,
Right.
does that knock somebody out that hasn't used it yet? I mean, what happens with that fund then? Do you understand the CID?
No, I mean.
Or I don't know, I'm just asking because I don't understand.
I mean, it's, you only can spend what you have in that amount.
Right,
So, I mean, my answer to that would just be a common sense one, that yes, I mean, if, you know, if all of these groups turn in all their receipts, then obviously they're gonna get the monies because it's there. So,
So Pack and Flavor's out?
yeah, I mean, we've already paid Brooke. Madsen will be paid in this next voucher group, so that will be out of there.
So
But-
really, we're only, for this year, we're at 205, I guess if they take that 7,000, it'd be 205,000
Yes,
for this year.
right, but I'm just saying, this is what you've promised total.
Right.
But now you're gonna have to add on another 50, cause you've got 25 going to Pronto and 25 going to J7. So. There you go.
Okay, my next question is, let's just say one of these, we'll just take the Harper County, whatever, I know they've already sent the paperwork in. If they had it put in for this year and they don't use it this year, what happens? Does that continue going on forever, ever, or is there a last?
That's kind of where I was getting at.
Is there a
Yeah.
final day?
Um,
Is it 1 year from the day they signed up?
no, that's just it. The CID does not have any time limit on how long it takes for a project. And I don't know if legally we can set one. I can certainly call our attorney and find that out. But since they're,
Well,
We have said that in the past, just so you know.
oh, there has been?
Yep.
What was the time limit?
I believe it might have been 6 months, but I'll have to double check.
Okay, yeah,
because-
cause
there has to be a time limit set though,
Right,
because if you
because
don't have a time limit,
Right.
let's say we this sole conservation, we give $32,000. Well, they don't use it this year, and then they wait for 5 years. Well, we
Yeah.
already, we can't keep track of that money we're supposed to give them for the
well,
next 10 years.
and that, and I want to give kudos where kudos. Shonda and Kelsey have worked together on trying to figure out, like, and Melinda weighed in on it, and I've just been the coordinator of who all, like, I made a couple of phone calls to find out, but we weren't sure even about all this red, but what we found out is that, and Shonda, you can weigh in, that this has all been paid out, and the only thing that was left was what we had here, but even when Shonda and I did the math on that, you guys can see it's not. And the other thing, so 2 things have been happening, and it's good news. One is we've had, for the longest time, the committee didn't have anybody applying for this money. And now we have all these great young entrepreneurs and business people that are saying, hey, we're gonna expand. I mean, Pronto Tire, one of those great examples of just tremendous entrepreneurs in our community that are wanting to expand their business. And so, so for the first time in a long time, we have more apps than we know what to do with. But the bad news is that fund only regenerates.
When does it regenerate?
Well, so this February we'll get another roughly 28 something.
It just depends.
It just depends on what tax. I mean, I'm gonna guess January and February.
So actually, this number here, you got another 27.
Another 28 something
On top of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not doom and gloom by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just telling you that we're getting to a
Close,
point,
kinda.
yeah, where we just need to be careful. But yet at the same time, we don't want to be discouraging because we love that our businesses are growing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
It's a great thing. So,
The question I have for you is other grant opportunities through economic development. So would that be more beneficial to these guys than pulling from the CID that's already maybe overspent?
So the community development grant certainly is an option, which, however, if you're in the CID, you have to exhaust that option before you can apply for the community development grant. Pronto Tire, a great example. Because his current business and new business are all in the CID, he has to apply for these funds before he can apply for a community development grant. I will highly recommend and suggest to Joe that he do that because, I mean, he's doing a huge project.
Oh, yeah, and
So-
I don't know, I look at that as a historical building. You know, that's
Oh,
been in the
absolutely.
community forever.
Yes,
And look what they're doing. I mean, that building was just about to fall down itself.
yes,
And so they're bringing that thing back to life. There's a
yes.
lot of value to that, I feel like, of saving an existing building.
Yeah. So,
But we have given grants to people in that CID before and gone away from that CID district thing because they felt like they weren't contributing to the base of that deal.
Right. Well, I mean, I know Pronto Tire is because I just had my oil changed. And I bought 4 new tires.
Yeah.
So he's charging tax somewhere, something.
So what's that, so the other grant opportunities that you have, that community development grant, what's that look like? Remind me on that for him.
So and clearly their project is well over $200,000. So any project that's over 180, I believe, would qualify for the maximum $40,000 grant. So technically, or possibly, I should not, possibly they could get another 40 all at once. Because that comes from Plum Thicket. So that is a lump sum that they could get. And that's
That's with receipts though, when you just bid, they get
Yes.
receipts and get refunded.
Yeah. I don't think Joe's gonna have any problem
No,
producing
no, I
receipts.
just make sure you just clarify that, we just don't hand them a check.
Yeah, we just don't, we don't hand them everything that we do is a reimbursement.
Okay.
And that's, I think, a good thing is that it shows that there's already an investment in the community, and I don't know,
Okay.
yeah, so no, we're not handing out free money. It definitely has to have receipts that come with it, so. Anyway, so, that's that.
So they just said 25 and 25 on these two.
100,000 over 4 years, so 25 for 4 years.
Okay, so 100,000 divided by 4 years.
Yes, for each one.
So it'd be 50,000.
So,
No, it's 100,000
per business.
For business.
Right.
I love it.
No,
Okay.
per business equaling 25 per year. So,
Like I said, it's 50,000 a year.
but when you look at that, I mean, that's roughly about what comes in every month from the tax, from the sales tax.
And remind me also on CID.
But you also got that same
Right.
75 over 5, that's what, 15?
Remind me though on the CID, is a business eligible to come back and apply again down the line with?
I believe so, yes.
I was gonna say, I think
Yes.
J Mac did
Yes.
several times, I
Yep.
can't remember for sure, but.
Yep,
So let's say he gets some stuff built and he comes back in a year,
yes,
6 months,
I'm all for it.
2 months?
There's no limitation on it.
Yep.
It's
Because
just they have
I-
to fill out everything and do it all over.
I don't know about J7, but I picture this guy, because I know like the Hall a Day Inn down here is a pretty successful
It's
deal.
really.
And from what I'm told, that deal's booked all the time.
Yes.
And I have a feeling, I don't know exactly what you're gonna do 100% in the building down here. I have a feeling he's got ideas of probably 5 or 6 different things that can go in there.
Joe, did you want to add anything?
Actually, that'd be 4. I don't know if you guys looked over the application, but Prado Tire will move there. My wife will move her business there, not as a storefront, but as a warehouse. So I believe that technically she'll be then collecting CID because that's.
As another business.
Yeah.
She'll have a storefront, but that'll be the shipping address. She does everything online.
Yeah.
And then the showroom side, we're gonna turn into a venue with the outside area, like a beer garden type area is what we're envisioning. Granted, these are all in stages. Right now, the first is to get Prano moved.
So that's what I'm asking about, Joe, is if
Yeah.
in let's say 6 months, he gets one part of it done and starts
Yeah.
to move forward.
Prano's close. They're supposed to start electrical this week. I gotta get my pit done. And then it's ball to wall. Sorry. Plumbing. Sorry.
That's how I love it, Joe.
Plumbing,
Edit
framing.
that one.
It's a
Well,
grease on
and here's the deal,
I'm speaking loud to you.
You've heard me say it before.
That's the first thing he's understood all morning.
But I think young people like this that are motivated, that you can see are
Yeah,
doing
oh,
stuff, I think
believe me.
that's what we need to be making sure that we're
Absolutely.
helping get this thing going, because if you see what they're doing at Holiday Inn, the
Yes.
Toronto Tire brings a lot of people in. I mean,
Yes.
if you get this other thing to come to light with the beer garden and all that, you think about Balloon Fest, all those things.
Well, and there's,
Yeah.
there is an apartment above that, the red bricks above the top, the second floor that looks, it's an apartment, which it needs a lot of work, but we want to gut that, redo it, and the same thing, a short-term rental, like our other Airbnb is, to kind of tie it together with the venue. We're just anything going on downtown
Yeah.
at any time.
But this is perfect for the CID. This is exactly why those people put this into place back then, and I want to make sure everybody understands that
Yes.
this isn't just it, Joe.
And I don't know if it matters, but this is the first time I've ever, Prono's ever applied for CID.
Yes.
I wanted to once before when I had a sign issue, but
Yeah.
I was discouraged at the time and said that they probably didn't pay out for signs, so I just did it.
I think there were some mistakes made on the signs.
Yeah, well, yeah, but, so, I mean, Prono has collected CID for a lot of months.
No.
Anyway, all I'm saying, Joe, is there's room
This
for
financial
growth.
situation,
And there's no time limit, like, you don't have to wait.
That's what she's saying, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Just a new
anyway,
application.
As long as they got the funding available.
so,
Right.
just,
Well,
just so you know, there's room for growth, Joe.
That's awesome.
So, good. Okay, so then at that, I would, if you're finished. and-
well, and so I'm gonna just say this, because of the financial situation, I wasn't sure if we were gonna go ahead. So I will need to go put together the resolutions and come back.
Oh, okay.
So, but,
You want to do that today, though?
yes, I do,
Okay.
absolutely. But I just wanted guidance from you all to see.
When you come back, I'd like to know how long, are we talking year they have to start this, or, I mean,
I'll look at the policy, or I'll look at the,
don't you wanna know? I mean,
I thought it was 6 months.
oh, well, Kelsey says it, and I
Oh.
don't doubt that at all. I just don't have, I didn't see anywhere that there was a timeline. Shonda looked at it, she didn't see a timeline.
Mhm.
Our committee looked at it, and that was one of their concerns, again, because there was no timeline. So, but, again, I just took this over, and Kelsey knows
I
what
think
more
it's
about
something
it
to look
than I.
at.
Maybe you go back to that CID attorney and get some clarification.
Yes, yeah.
Because, you know, you're promising all this money, and then we're wanting to use, I mean, if you're talking years, 5 or 6 or 7, 8 years down the line, none of it's been used, and we're holding that money.
Oh, I
We should be
agree.
using it for something else.
Yeah, well, especially a viable business like Prono Tire
That's
that's
what I'm
already
getting at.
growing.
We
you
tie up
know?
all this, we tie up all this money,
Yeah,
that's not being used, but we need to use it.
right. So, okay, just a couple
Can
of
we
other,
go ahead and approve those resolutions and you get them to us?
oh, sure, and to get them to sign,
While we're on
yeah,
the subject,
sure,
is that all
yeah.
right? You guys want to
That'd
do
be
that?
awesome.
If they're okay with the funding that's available, I'm.
Okay, so the first resolution is for Prono Tire, and that's resolution 2022-7.
Okay, and it would be for $100,000 payable over 4 years.
There you go. Somebody want to make that motion? Some, all in favor? Aye. Any discussion on J7's application?
So this is out in the industrial park. It is a gentleman who does spraying, and he is taking one of the buildings out there, and he's going to actually put his office and make that his new go-to place. So.
And this is part of the CID district?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they are.
Because clear north, just right about there.
It does. It takes in the industrial park. Not our industrial park, but the city's industrial park.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was clear out there.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Yeah. Not ours. The city's. So, and the committee recommended the same deal because his application was well over $200,000. And I'll bring copies of these. Again, I'm sorry. I was just looking for financial guidance, and I was not thinking we were going
And what's he want to do?
put in an office and put some heating and air conditioning in the building so that it makes it a lot more.
It's got heating, overhead door, roof extension off the east side of the building, concrete slab for east door approach.
Yeah, everything that he's
septic
doing
system.
is all going to make that a much more
More
appealing
commercial type.
and more of a commercial type.
Because right now, my understanding of that building is just kind of a shed, right? I mean, it's been
It's
that
just
way
a
for.
shell. And so this is going to be.
He's at least cleaned
Is
it
that
up.
the tech line?
No, it's the one south of there, the city built.
How long has that been?
20 years ago. Okay, so we didn't do a motion for 2022-7 yet, did we, for Prawn?
Yes.
We did. Okay, so then J7 is 2022-8. I'd entertain a motion for that. It'd be the same type of deal, 100,000 for 25,000 here for 4 years.
Okay.
So motion.
Yep, it's mine.
All in favor? Aye. Very good.
Okay.
Congratulations. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you doing stuff and everything. That's
Appreciate
a
it.
neat deal. I'm glad. to see it.
And now that he's done that, we can move forward on the other, on the grant as well, so I will.
Talk of us getting her hip pocket.
You both did? You can apply for?
Yes.
Okay.
Getting her hip pocket.
Hey. Give me
Thank
some
you.
free oil changes.
That's not how that works.
No, it's not.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, just a couple of FYIs. So I talked to your brother, the one, the only.
Oh, mine?
Yes. About possibly having the welding class make something like this for informational brochures. You might have seen that I moved the one rack down here just because I think that other one looked hideous, the one that was just standing up. So I moved this down here because one, it holds more information, but it still looks kind of old and beat up and very outdated. So I have talked to Bobby about maybe having the welding classes make something like this. So just FYI.
Cool.
Yep. Also, I'll be sending out a press release today about our Harper County Community Leadership going to the Capitol. We got to meet with
Let's see that.
all of the above. We got to meet with the governor, Kyle Hoffman, Representative Hoffman, Senator Alley, and the Lieutenant Governor. And what was interesting, of course, we were there the Monday that they were debating the APEX bill, the big economic development package. And so the fact that they all took time for this was really pretty
That was
awesome.
so cool.
And we also went and toured the Jayhawk Theater, which is being renovated in downtown Topeka, thanks to my college roommate. And it was just a great day. And we, I think one of the things that I truly believe in is that when you are top of mind and you are in front of people, especially people like the governor and our representatives, they're going to think of Harper County more
Sure they are.
So that was really the purpose of the trip, and just also to show the leadership group, leadership in at its top level.
Did you climb to the top?
No.
You didn't do that?
No, heck no, I don't need to do anything silly like that.
Oh.
Anyway, we are partnering with T2C to do a career fair and with Workforce, not only for the students, but we're also opening it to adults. So our companies are really excited about that. It's going to be the same T2C career fair, but now it'll have a window for adults to come in, and then it'll have a window for students. So that way the companies...
While they're all there.
Yeah, while they're all there, the companies are like, that's totally great. We have been invited to join the South Central Kansas Tourism Region. It's $120. I don't know what I think about that. Just want to let you all know that.
Who else was part of that?
Well, Dolly goes to the meetings. I've gone to a couple. It's like Newton, Sumner County. I don't know.
What would we get for it?
That's what I want. What we getting, what bang we getting out of $120?
And I'm not the best advocate for this, but it used to be a pretty active group, and they'd go to the Kansas State Fair and this and that and the other, and always have a booth, and then they do the Sampler Festival and all that kind of stuff. But now I think it's just fair, kind of, our brochures would go to the fair booth, so.
Yeah.
I know, I'm kind of with you guys, I'm just throwing that out. And last but certainly not least, I did type up a project kind of proposal for the building over there. I just said there's a need for office work and meeting space in Harper County, and since the county already owns the building, the Community Development Office would like to utilize this space for offices and a new revenue-generating workspace. So I've put that together. I'll send that to you all. I just want you to ponder.
Can they pull off of our Wi-Fi over here, or would that have to be set up separately?
So I took Josh and Nolan with me, and they, so like Nolan already has furniture that would fit over there, so it wasn't, we may have to buy like just some workspace desks, but nothing huge. And then Josh said there would definitely be a way to finagle Wi-Fi over there, so.
Okay.
Finagle's a bad
We
word.
need to do something with that building.
I've
It's
never
too nice a
been,
building.
I need to go look at that.
Yeah, well, what's great about it is so the front room, when you first walk in, it's got space, so you could put a couple of workstations in there. So it's the same thing that what Caldwell did. Caldwell did the Caldwell workspace, where if you're a business person and you're in Caldwell, Kansas, and you do business there, but you don't actually have a local office, you can go into the workspace, rent a desk, connect to Wi-Fi, do all what you need to do.
That's a big hit.
It's a huge hit, and it's it makes sense because we do have a lot of people that come to Harper County to do business, but they don't necessarily have a local office. And then the other thing is it's got a really nice room for a conference room, so we could use it, we could rent out a conference room. It also has like a supply area back there. And so I was looking at different types of fees. So you could, and even for homework, like if you're a college student and you have a big paper due and, everybody at home is driving you crazy, you could come down there and rent a desk and.
You know how cheap that is compared to having your own office in town?
Oh, absolutely.
LD, what's it cost you to turn your lights on and then lock the door, Anthony, every day?
$7.
Yeah, and that's cheap. I don't think we can get over $300 under that, even if we keep everything off over there.
Well, so for example, like I put a day
And that's
pass.
not insurance and taxes.
So I put a day pass for a member, just be a member for a day would be like $15, and we could up that. I'm just throwing these out. Open co-working space for for 24/7 would be $50. A membership would be $50 a month. Dedicated workspace would be $100 a month. That means like a reserve desk that person could keep there. And then we would be open to nonprofit and high school and community groups to have free access during our regular hours.
So they got rid of all the mold over there, didn't they? Oh, I think so, yeah, they tore out the mold.
Yeah. I went in there and I didn't sneeze.
We need to do something with it, because we need it for sale.
But why not try this? I mean, that's a heck of a
Yeah.
So, okay.
You're excited.
I know, good enough.
We'll think about it, how's that?
Okay, and
I'm on board.
To me, it's a way to generate some revenue. It's a way to be more accessible. It's a way to, be another service to the community in some way. shape, or form.
I don't like the building sitting there, nothing going on.
Well, I don't either, sir. So you and I are on the same page
We're
on
on the same
that.
page.
So, all right, I will send you guys some stuff and I will get those resolutions done.
Thank you, Shelley, appreciate it.
Always slice.
How you doing? I was just listening to her around and hearing you. Got friends. Shauna.
You ready?
Hi, I am. How are you guys?
Heard a lot of numbers today.
Yes. Okay, here's something that will start off that's small. Troy Langton talked to Audrey Anderson about having a car show here again this year. Is that something that you guys would be willing to do? It's Saturday, May 7th.
Sure, we don't have to do anything, we just.
Okay.
They've had it every year for a number of years. That's Bloom Fest, I'm assuming.
Well, Bloom Fest is in the fall now though, so they still have their car show in the spring, I assume, right?
When is Bloom Fest? I thought it was.
It's in October, isn't it?
Insurance?
Isn't it?
September, right? Yeah.
Yes, we have to have this insurance.
Yeah.
That's what the issue was previously, is we have to have insurance because if something were to happen, that way we're not liable.
He should know that. I mean, 'cause
Yeah, we
he had
have-
that last year, we approved it last year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then also here's her travel request that when she went to Topeka for her, when she's going to go to her Jew seminar training, so
Who's
that's,
that?
it's Audrey, sorry.
Oh, that's you would. You okay with that? I'm okay with that.
Me too.
Okay, so Darren, you asked about getting the different departments' budget for the paper. This is the 2022 budget and what each department has. And then I also went back to 2019, 20, and 21 to see what everybody had kind of spent.
And this includes the tax sale too, right, this number?
Mm-hmm, yeah, that's the total budget. What's available?
Wow.
Amy says they moved Balloon Fest.
I thought it was a spring.
She says they've moved it back to the spring.
Yeah.
Because she texted me and said the balloons are in May. I told her they moved it again. So she says they've moved it back to.
I thought they did, because Boy Scouts are very talking about it. So it'd be about that time period. So this is last 19, 20, and 21, correct? The three? That's what we
Yes,
spent?
that is correct. Yeah, what we spent on publication.
Okay, so total for 2022 publication budget. Okay, if that's, you want me to announce this?
I don't know, I just wanna see what it was. I don't know if you
The
announced it.
budget amount is $27,875.
And then
That's after looking at every department for
I think that's
3 years. So who's going? It goes 2019 was $39,697. 2020 is $25,495. And 2021 was $26,405.
So we're at about the same,
Yeah.
right there, 30,000 mark, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you for doing that, Sean. How did your guys'?
I'll just turn it over to Jason. He got a hold of, Ray, so you got the figures before, you and I were on, so
That's what I was
I'll turn it over.
Hang on just a second, Jason, we're gonna write some, Brian's gonna write some notes for us here pretty quick.
Okay.
What we had talked about was the $5 per column inch for all of your legal publications outside of the delinquent tax list. And then we need to know if we're going to include property and personal lists as ones that go into all three, or if you just want the property one. I would think you would want both of those listed on all three papers.
I agree.
So what we said is if those two go in all three papers, then it would be $5 per column inch for all of the other ones, and then it would be $15,000 total, split 3 ways, so $5,000 for each paper to have those two lists published.
That'll work. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't. I mean, is my math not adding up right on that?
As I say, unless you have a year of unbelievable amounts of resolutions, that's going to be significantly lower than any of your budget years.
And that's locked into the 3 years.
Yeah, and then we reevaluate in 3 years.
Yep.
I'm good with it. All right, you're the math lady, does that look like a pan out?
Well, I think so, let's see.
All right, let's get a motion for that. Let's see what that's. Before these guys can quit wasting time on this. Jeff made the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, LD. Thanks, Jason, for doing that. Appreciate that.
See you
guys.
guys.
All work.
Thanks, Andy.
That's quick and easy.
Jason?
Right.
Alright, so, it was discovered that we need to have resolutions to adopt the paper, so there's that.
Resolution 2022-9. I need a motion for that.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye. That just takes care of it for 3 years, we know what we got coming in. Everybody's good idea, guys.
How does that work out?
All right, look at this.
Sorry. Thank you, Sean.
Yes, you're welcome.
Linda,
Morning.
how are you?
Hi, Linda.
You guys.
Good. Before, don't let me forget the transfers before you get shut her down.
And we'll talk about this as we go through. So what you have in front of you is, if you approve those transfers, this is how 2021 is looking right now before anything, any other audit adjustment or another transfer. So just on your summary sheet, highlighted the departments that are a little bit over budget. In the past, you guys have had approved a budget adjustment, but I don't know if you need to do that, because they're departments within the general fund. So that's up to you to do. So down at the bottom of that page, you would have the 1 minute highlighted in yellow is the is the cash as of 12/31. The red is your budgeted cash carryover. And then to the far right in blue is your estimated unencumbered cash. And that's where you take your cash at 12/31, you're gonna subtract out your wage accruals, you're gonna subtract out your encumbrances, which gives you your unencumbered cash. So what you're gonna compare is, we're saying you're gonna carry over 1,540,000, you budgeted 747,000. Your cash is good, which is gonna help in your budgeting process. And the reason for that is your revenue was over budget by about 540,000, I think, because you're conservative on your revenue, and then you didn't quite spend all your budget.
There is no need with that to change our budget on the, like -2%, you said did a budget adjustment. Since it's in the general fund.
I think it's up to you guys that what you maybe can look at what you did last year. Previously, you've had the departments come in and, justify, since you guys are one of those, you can justify it. I'm not sure if, you didn't budget for dues or if there was insurance or something like that.
They said there was cell phones.
Cell phones, computers,
Okay.
laptop
Okay.
computer deals.
Yeah. And if you flip back to, we'll go over those in just a minute. The next page then just shows your other departments, and nobody is over in the other funds or departments. One thing, when we look at transfers here, you'll look at road and bridge. They have ending cash of 785,000. With encumbrances, we're estimating a carryover of 690,000. You only need 233,000.
That's a lot of budget.
That's a lot of carryover.
But we may have made a dent in that today, though.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
With additional encumbrances.
Yeah.
Not encumbrance,
Well,
it's a purchase for this year.
For 2022. Okay,
Yeah.
so, and you could do a couple of things. You could transfer some of that money, because they have a remaining budget, into capital road reserves if you wanted to, if you know they have something coming up. Or in 2022, since you have more cash carryover than anticipated, if she needs more budget, you can do it a budget of it. So that will help you out, rather than moving
So,
in cash.
This 3,933, that's what we're planning on having carry over?
Over total for your budgeted funds.
Wow.
And that's 1.2 million over what you budgeted. So your cash is good. That's really gonna help coming along in budget this time.
Right.
Go to that third page, and then you can see your budgeted revenue came in at $560,000 over what you budgeted. So again, that explains that cash carryover in the general fund to a large extent. Highlighted in red are those that didn't quite make their budget. There's just a few. Diversion fees was down. You have no control over the mineral production tax. We knew that was going to be lower than budgeted. And solid waste didn't quite bring in what they have in the past.
Well, county officer fees, wherever that is.
Yeah, part of that is the tax sale.
Okay.
And you don't budget anything for that. So, and that was 129,000.
Okay.
So, the next few pages are all the general fund. And as you go down, you can see what line items you guys were over in. Commodities, like you say, that was cell phone or what have you. County clerk was good. County treasurer was good. County attorney. If you look in the first or the second column from the left, period 13 transfers. So that's one of the transfers that you're going to sign here. This $10,000 transfer into capital equipment reserves to add to the 6,000. It's already there, and that'll help pay for that new software this year. Okay. Looking at other transfers, or other people that were over budget. Sheriff was over in both capital outlay and contractual services, so over budget. Just
because of the vehicle we bought, wasn't it? I mean, that was that.
I'm assuming because we bought it.
That was that Durango that we were hoping to have some income to offset that. That's what caused that.
Okay. jail emergency
But
management.
that's not bad.
Well, no, I was gonna say, it could have been a lot worse than that.
Yeah, and on sheriff, on transfers, those were just corrections. They had put some federal aid and netted it out of expense. I reclassified that.
Okay.
So not actually a transfer. Next page then is dispatch. We posted that transfer, I believe, already. Send that one to be approved, but that was budgeted. And then pick it's over very slightly, as is information technology, just $105. So those are your ones that are in the general fund. The last page of the general fund shows the additional budgeted transfers, where originally you had budgeted $250,000 going to road improvements and $125. I think road construction and road improvements, and then you guys switched that around because you decided not to put the money into road. You decided to put it into capital outlay.
Right.
So overall, you're not over budget. So that's kind of the general.
Thank you.
Page 13 corrections. Okay, EMS. I think that's one that you'll be signing. If I remember right, putting $45,000 into capital equipment reserves. Looking for the other transfers.
You want to look at those?
No, that's okay. I've got mine here.
Okay.
So you had budgeted to put $320,000 into employee benefits, which again, I think your cash carryover in that fund is going to be beneficial. What yours shows.
We'll burn that up when rates go up, right, Minnie?
Yeah.
They're not going down.
Oh, they're not? Okay.
You budgeted $258,000 carryover, and you'll have $587, so you'll have a little bit of help there.
I'm hopeful they're not going up, I don't know.
How would they not?
We've done all right this year.
Yeah, everything's going up. So.
Then I'm looking for other transfers. I think the 2001 was just kind of the only one that would be out of the ordinary. Public transportation did $3,000. And then special motor vehicle has a transfer. A couple of the transfers in there that you're going to post are either corrections on encumbrances. A couple of it, one of them, for example, is the EMS. The last billing for December came in too late to be put in, but I wanted that in your 2021 expense.
Yeah, that was, I saw that.
Yeah, so what happens there, you have to do a transfer in 2021, and then you have to reverse it in 2022. So you'll have two transfers that are in there the same. And then the other transfer is her unencumbered cash at the end of the year gets transferred into the general fund, that $9,400. So she has an expense in her fund, and we have revenue in the general fund. So that's what you'll that you'll see in there. So I think if you don't want to do anything with road and bridge, all those transfers in there are reflected in this summary and should be pretty much what we're going to do the auditors for the audit report.
We're gonna transfer something to everybody, right, for that stuff we off.
I think they're pretty close to having enough, but I mean, I could go more comfortable with what was that,
357,000.
So you need some money in capital equipment reserves. Okay.
Well, you got that paper still, how much that's gonna be?
It's 340 to 600.
You're gonna have hoses in this year.
Rounded off $350,000.
$340,600.
And then,
You got probably other expense
So how much do you want there?
We'll go 350.
I was going to say 350 to cover the, I don't know, and we're probably off because the hydro is probably shocked what that's
Well,
doing.
no, this got two, this shouldn't.
Yeah, they don't.
How long are they?
A little bit, $10,000, they would.
And then we'll probably have to buy hydraulic fluid for it. I mean, there's.
I would say 350,000.
That's what you need in there, and you have 340.
well, it quotes 340,600, but we're thinking in the end it's gonna be closer to 350.
So we have 333.
So you need 350. So you wanna do 25,000?
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Okay. So what I might do is go mark that one up, and then you guys can sign off on that one, because that way they can all be posted today and approved. So 25,000 from road and bridge to capital equipment reserve.
Right.
Okay. Then do you want to look at, do you have any questions on any of the other transfers that are in there?
I don't think so.
You
Explained it pretty good right there.
Okay, I will write this one up and get that.
Thank you, Linda.
Thanks, Linda.
You bet. All right,
Thanks,
anything else for
Shonda.
me? Yeah, you're welcome. Yep, it was great listening to her. I learned.
You want to do that? Huh?
Yeah,
You wanted a break?
5 minutes.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
he drank 14 Pepsis in one day.
You didn't vote for it, though.
What's up?
I said all in favor. I said, yeah, did I?
Yes, I'm not going to pay for that. We're not bad then.
So on that tower, is that next now? Or, or do they like go back for an appeal or?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering.
I don't know if it goes back and they try to do it again, but Ryan might know. That's the first one of those meetings I've been through.
Matt will know. Motion to reconvene. Question, Mr. Chair.
All in favor?
You wanna know that on that tower, does it go back to the committee again, they try to run it through back again, or is it
It's done. That's a done deal. Jason wanted to know?
Yeah, so they,
I think it's a done deal.
they're not gonna be able to appeal, or, so they just don't get it
I don't
done.
know how the appeal process works with that. I've never witnessed or been a part of it, have anything being appealed.
Sorry.
Oh, you're all right. So I don't know. All right. I'm gonna sign these. You good with that? These are-
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, everybody has to sign.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't put that in paper. My name is Bennett.
You said that.
Yeah,
For my education.
since you're still in recess.
No, we kind of mentioned we can make.
You never can.
I said something to Nolan about reaching out to the contractor on that EMS station. So he's gonna look up some information on them.
Well, when I did my tour, there was quite a bit.
And that stuff is supposed to be addressed.
Yeah.
I know we pointed some of that stuff out. I didn't know it never
Yeah,
happened.
she said, Jan told me you got pointed out when you built the building.
So he was gonna look up that. I would hope they'd honor that.
You would think so.
But he was gonna look that up. Here you go ahead.
When you're ready, I can listen, right?
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, how are y'all?
Good.
Okay, I have some personnel status forms. This one is just an FYI, it is an elected department. We have a new deputy county clerk. Have a resignation in EMS. I have a new hire in public works, a new hire in public transportation, and a new hire in our shared services position, the EMS and the treasurer.
You need to score that stuff.
Thank you.
Those are mine.
The big screen loaded.
Thanks.
I have that too.
Then I have a vacancy notice. I'm sorry.
I need to sign this one, don't
Well, is that transfer?
Yes.
That's gotta go through with the rest of these. We've got.
I'll sign it in. Get the date on it. Road bridge. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
I know Pam a little bit.
Perfect, thank you.
Is this one?
What department is that one? Public Works, yes, that's our new hire.
Is that the one we talked about the other day?
Mm-hmm. He's starting on the 24th.
We'll look at that resignation line.
Yeah.
You need to sign it?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sign it.
Thank you. Okay, then, because of this resignation in EMS, I do have another vacancy notice for a full-time position in EMS.
You guys okay with that? Vacancy notice?
Mm-hmm. I don't want that phone call. Tell that right now.
Is your warranty expired?
No, it's not here. Dear John letter.
Okay, reminder, I'm headed back to Topeka this week. This is for the Kansas SHRM conference. Last week it was with the leadership group. This week it's with SHRM, and this should be the last one this year. I usually only go to one a year, so. I'm headed, I'll be out the 15th and the 16th, but you can call me and I'll have my computer with me. It's a payroll week, so we'll try to get all that taken care of.
Tomorrow, Wednesday.
Mhm, yeah. Another question for you, our 2030 vision plan. We haven't looked at it in quite a while. I wondered if you want to. I emailed it to you on Friday with the rest of the stuff. Did you see that? Okay. Did you, I mean, we haven't looked at it. I think our last meetings were some middle of last year sometime. So I wondered if maybe at the next department head meeting, would you want to have people prepared to maybe give updates on these?
Sure. I mean, we at least need to replace Lee and Carly's name with these guys.
That's what I think. We need to replace some of the people that have left, because we do have several different department heads now. Well, we need to get Shonda on there and Shelley on there.
Keep Bob off there.
Get Bob off of there. Josh needs to go on. You two need to go on. So I didn't know, do you want to wait until the next department head meeting? Do you want to have a meeting before that to discuss this stuff?
Well, probably next department meeting.
Is that okay? Sometime in March?
March.
Mm-hmm. Well, if that's all right, I'll just add that to our agenda. Are you still liking the 8 a.m.?
Works for me.
Meetings?
Is
Okay.
everybody else, I mean, the courthouse folks, is that?
I haven't heard
You
anything
haven't heard
either way.
anything? No? But sometimes they like to get in and open up their offices and get things going for the day, I don't know.
And we can just plan to do that, and that will just be our focus for that department head meeting. See if this is still the direction we want to go in.
There you go.
Okay. Question on performance evaluations. The way we've got it set up, we do them annually, the month of your anniversary. And it's not really a problem, but it is a situation, and this is kind of why I had suggested last year maybe having an evaluation period of like 90 days, no matter what your anniversary date is. Because we're trying to get this, or we got the merit-based increase thing started, we had a lot of people that had evaluations in November and December of last year.
Yeah.
Well, now they're coming up with January, February anniversary dates. They just were evaluated, so they've only had a month or two to make, I mean, and if we're going to base their merit increases on these evaluations, there's a question as to the fairness of that. You know, they get a month to improve, whereas some people are going to get a full year to improve.
What do you want to do?
You know, I don't know. The options are this. We go ahead with it as it is and just get on the cycle. Or starting in, I don't know, maybe May or June, after you guys have looked at the budget and kind of figured out what you want to do for the next year, give a 2-month window and say, okay, department heads evaluations need to be done during this time.
Bad thing about that time of year, we're, starting to cut weed.
Yes.
Yada, yada, yada.
Don't want to be in here too bad.
Yeah. Well, no, I
You're
mean,
right,
it's just
though.
gonna add to our days.
Well, we can always push it back too, though, but I mean, as far as the harvest and the planting, you guys are busy until fall.
And you're right. I mean, if it's not one thing, it's one of the other, so it's whatever.
We could do it in August and September. I mean, we can put it wherever you want if you feel like that would be a better way to do these. That's my concern, though, is there are a handful of people that had January anniversary dates that just had an evaluation in November.
I don't want to do that.
We're not gonna evaluate it again, right?
Well, that's the question, but
No.
so when do you want to do their evaluation?
We'll do it the next time we do the next round, whatever that is. We just evaluated it.
Yeah. But it would be, do you do it before budget time or after budget time?
I don't know that it really matters, because we're not going to disclose what you guys decide as far as increases.
I like the August, September deal myself, because that's somewhat of a long time.
It'll be hot and dry, you won't be doing it.
Yeah.
Are you okay with doing that? Can we maybe,
I am, are you?
and just saying this is the period,
This is
you've
when we're
got
gonna start
60
doing it.
days, yep.
Yeah, I'm all right with that, and that'll give us time to have it all wrapped up and complete
Mhm.
by the time it ends of the year.
Yeah, and then that gives people, because we're not handing out increases at evaluation
Right,
time
no,
anyway,
they'll
it's
come.
an annual.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
All right, I'll update the policy and bring it to you on Monday, okay?
And remember, we discussed, guys, about how we're gonna do that a little bit different next year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we have to.
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully, we're getting this nailed down and we'll be in good shape.
It'll be fun once everything the system.
All right, so I'll bring you the policy Monday. All right, next question. I just need an executive session for non-elected personnel.
How long you want?
Let's do 15 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know that it will take that long, I don't have a lot.
I'm sure it'll be something.
Somebody wanna make that motion? Jeff made the motion to go into executive session. The subject to be discussed will be non-elected or personnel matters and justification for closing the meeting, and to discuss personnel matters and non-elected personnel. The open meeting will resume at
11:33.
11:33
Can't say 15 minutes in the door shut.
in this room.
Where,
Return
See, you're good now.
No action taken in executive session. But I would entertain a motion to extend a leave of absence for James Blake.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. I have 2 more comments already.
For me?
Yeah. So the wreck on the bridge out here, out west of town.
Yes, I emailed Richard about it today. K-Camp, it's not covered in our MOC bridge repairs, so James Gamble is our adjuster. And he said if we want to pursue something, we'll have to do that ourselves. So I emailed Richard to kind of see what we need to do as far as that goes. I know we've done that in the past with other people.
Yeah.
I haven't handled those things, so I'm not sure how those have been done, but I'll definitely get them.
For that deal up your way, didn't we just send him a bill?
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, and then same as those road repairs, whenever somebody drug an implement through the
Well,
ditch.
actually, I don't think he took that in his insurance. I think he paid that out of his pocket. But
Really?
I don't
Okay.
remember for sure.
So I do think we need
estimates to repair.
Well, we need to come up with a policy. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. We can't just pick and choose who we're going to.
Well,
Speak of the devil.
Hey. No, but that's what I'm saying is we have to be consistent. So if we've done it for several of these others,
Because if you're not consistent, the who you're not consistent with is gonna get
Right.
messy.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. We've done it in the past. We need to continue on with that. And so you're probably right. There needs to be something set up as a policy. This is what
There is, there has to be.
I'll work with Shonda and we can get something.
just to make sure we follow through on that. The other thing is on these blacktops. I know you've been pretty
I haven't
tight
heard
and busy.
anything from them.
I wonder if we ought to reach out
I
to
will.
those attorneys because they've gone a long enough time. We ought to have some sort
Should
of
have something now.
Yep.
We can't let that keep dragging out.
Is
So,
that something Sean can do?
well, I think Amy's. That's what didn't I ask you a week or 2 ago something? Just wondering. I couldn't remember
If
who
we
was.
had any, yeah, it's me, I'm willing to handle that, just because I deal with the insurance
That's right,
and the
you do.
attorneys.
Yeah, you're right.
And
I'll
then
follow up.
other thing, last week we went and looked. When you weren't here, we went and looked at the gigantor crack in the 3rd floor and stuff.
Yeah,
So on the historical building thing,
yeah.
do we need to follow that before we go to just repairing? Because there's some cracks that need taken care of. I think you guys would agree with me when you say that we're gonna have to address some of those.
I'll see if I can get James to come and take a look. He's our insurance adjuster, whether it's covered or not, he'll at least be able to look and say, yeah, this is a K-Camp claim, or no, this is due to
Okay,
something
that's
else.
what I was gonna ask you.
That's
When
where I
the-
would start.
When the Crown building fell in the courtroom, do you remember all that?
Yeah, but Mike handled all of that, that didn't go through.
But that was before mine, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Bob.
But that may be even before Bob, because I think that stuff cracked and fell. And then pretty quick after that's when they come and put that little gauge up on the 3rd floor.
Who's monitoring that gate?
Yeah, that's what I had a question, is all of that stuff was put there to see, and then everybody just kind of fell off the face of the earth. It was taking care of that, but.
I'll research it.
Anyway, just so you know, there's some cracks we think are probably earthquake related, because that one Nolan pointed out to us outside the elevator on the 4th floor, they think started to show up after that big earthquake we had 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
And then as we got to looking above, you go up there and look, it's this huge thing above the windows that looks like the whole building's gonna start falling down on itself.
Fantastic. Okay.
Give her.
You know, you get 4 or 5 floors up, that little shaking down here seems a lot there.
So anyway, just so you know, there's some
Yeah.
issues that probably you need to visit with Nolan about to see what needs to happen next. Because that historical building thing may prevent us from just going in.
We have to be careful how we fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep,
Wasn't
definitely.
Harold when do this, so.
Yeah, I hate to bother Harold. Bother Harold, but he's, that's a health
He
issue.
does have some health issues.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. I'll have that for you on Monday.
Okay. Transfers, guys, we got a whole stack of these we gotta go. I know everybody wants to get, but we've got a stack of these we've gotta cover. So the first one was for, road and bridge, capital equipment reserves to capital equipment reserve operating, transfers. Transfer available 2021 budget to capital equipment reserve for 2022 purchase for the BoCC for $25,000. Don't need permission, just an okay, or don't need a motion, just an okay on that one. I'm okay with that, you good with that?
Yep, well, we gotta do it. So.
Another here for $2,557.77. Record 12/31/2021 encumbrance for EMS December 21 billing from Cipher. Invoice received 2/8 of 2022, I think is what that's supposed to say. It says 2021. Do I need to change that?
Yes, please.
Okay. And it should be a 2022 expense, so that's transferring that amount. You okay with that? You guys, you didn't see it?
I'm good.
Okay.
I remember.
Okay. You wanna read those, that way I can sign? Maybe
You're gonna be signing. Okay, this is transfer for $9,412.28 to, out of the interfund transfer expense to general fund.
You okay with that, guys?
Yep. This is a transfer for $700 from sheriff dues and restoration training. And it's credited to the Kansas Department of Revenue for the sheriff department for $700. You in charge of the sheriff department?
Another reason of that.
What was that for?
So,
Receipt posted to expense account should be revenue, not netted from expense, per analysis of federal aid receipts.
do I need to tell you what they're for too?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and that might be better if you just read that part down there.
Okay. This is a transfer for $1,244.27 to, well, it's for how the office purchased to office supplies. It's desktop folder posted and to supplies should be equipment purchase. Holy moly. This is one for $371. Voided stale dated checks posted to fund balance and error. Should be expense account.
So another error there.
This is a debit out of the general fund, credit the district court, debit out of the general fund, credit district court, and then debit out of the road and bridge fund, and then back into road and bridge fund, road and bridge materials.
Different accounts, so.
Yep.
I'm gonna assume you guys are okay with this unless you tell me different.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Our ladies in the accounting says we need to do it. This is one for $538.63. It's a debit voucher error. Should be 12/31/21 prior period 13, not 2022 expense. This is encumbrance for Department of Aging.
What was going on there?
$538.
This is one for $5,358.40. It's coming out of the Plum Thicket interfund transfer expense into capital equipment reserve. Its previous ambulance cost was less than expected. This leftover funds for the ambulance. $10,000 for the the county attorney out of the capital reserve fund to the capital equipment reserve operating transfer. This transfer remaining budget to the future purchase of new software.
This is all we discussed today.
Yep. $538.63. Department of Aging. Reverse 2022 expense for 12/31/2021. Encumbrance for Department of Aging. Debit voucher error should be 12/31/21/13, not 2022.
Do I need to change the date on that? Oh, okay, good.
$2,557.77 out of EMS. Payable and EMS service insurance filing, I think. Verse 2021 invoice posted to 2022 expense, prior year encumbrance invoice received to 2/8/2021 should be a 2021 expense.
Those are pretty easy.
Smooth.
Thank you for reading them.
You bet.
Well,
Thanks for signing.
I don't know, we'd already went over them.
Well, yeah, but just so everybody knows that's what they're saying.
He might want to know, she might want to know, except for she
Oh, I was going to ask you if you wanted my copy to look at that or
I gave you mine.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you have notes though?
No, she didn't have notes this time, right? I didn't see any. Okay. Okay, you guys have a chance to look over minutes. We have to approve those yet. From January 31st.
January 31st on the waste connections from Randy Momke, or whatever it is. You had him in the minute, or the 5 minutes of public comment, and you also have him down a little below that. Do we wanna put how much we receive?
Probably wouldn't hurt for public to see that.
Okay.
But it says Randy Bemke from Waste Connections introduced himself to the board during public comment. During public comment, Randy Bemke from Waste Connections introduced as the new director, Josh Steele, presented the tree boards. That's not correct.
That should be two separate deals. Josh Steele should be on his own, and it should have how much we got the check for Randy.
He brought 2 checks. I found out later that he had brought another one. That was in the envelope, so I'll put him on there.
I didn't know.
Down below where it says Mike Bennett, Sheena Thomas, comma, Public Works, there's no comma after Public Works, seems to have one in there.
Okay.
Also, underneath where it says Josh Teal, IT Director, provided a department update and presented data collected with the asset protection tracking system. Discussed providing, quote, before trial period ends, period, it says, and then it says software ideas regarding start. Those aren't complete sentences there.
Do we really want the STAR program in there?
It doesn't matter to me if it is one or another. We haven't approved it yet, you just brought it up, so it could be just a department update.
Yeah.
So do you want me to take out the software and all the rest of it, or?
You okay with that? Just
We
department
haven't
update.
decided to do anything with it. I just put an update on it. I don't know if we need it.
Just department update from IT, you're right with that, Joe? The abatement, so Jeff, it says Commissioner Vornoff motion to approve the abatement, -4984, approved unanimously. And I can't remember which one that was. It was probably for a vehicle or something, wasn't it?
It's for the truck.
So we probably ought to have in there for a truck abatement.
Okay.
So, and then Jeff, it says Commissioner Vornoff's motion to approve the economic development for Harper Industries. Need to have in there what that actually was. Not just the economic development for Harper Industries.
What do you mean?
Well, it says motion to approve the economic development for Harper Industries. What's that?
We want to, it was for tax.
It was the ROZ stuff, wasn't it? You may have to go back and watch the video on that one, Kelsey, because that doesn't say anything really there.
Okay.
At 12:07, Commissioner Vornoff motion to go to, it says to go into executive session. That's not, that doesn't sound right.
To enter executive session. I like it when we have gaps in between there, because all the, one at the top where we have, it's like Commissioner Struble, then you got Matt Berger. I like the.
There's no spacing in there, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so I can see each, because it's all, the top ones, see, you changed it to.
See, and I wondered if that was my formatting on this thing, but it shows up on yours that way too.
What do you need?
Well, see we're all, it's like this, here, it's all together, then you format it different, spaced apart, which, for me, it's easier for me to figure out. See,
Because this doesn't look like that when you print it.
It's a formatting deal.
It's, yeah,
Okay.
when you
Okay.
there's a difference between downloading it and just viewing it.
Okay.
It definitely does a difference on that.
Okay, it's.
Sure.
Part of
I
it,
get
part
you
of
now.
it's got gaps and part of it doesn't. And
Yeah, I see.
it could be my machine.
Yeah, we have that issue a lot with Word.
At 12:28, Commissioner Struble motion to go into executive session.
Oh.
Take that out of there. part where it says Commissioner Struble, motion to remove appropriate budget amount of $37,000. I think your motion was to appropriate a budget transfer, right?
Yes.
Remember that? To appropriate a budget transfer of 30, not to remove appropriate budget amount, but to appropriate a budget transfer.
I just took that off of what was said on there, so.
And it says County Clerk Kelsey Murphy objected to motion made. I don't think it's supposed to be the past tense of motion. It's motion made.
Mm-hmm.
Then it says board discussed with the county clerk's personnel change that would also include payroll. Does that sound right? Board discussed with the county clerk's personnel change that would also include.
No.
Probably discussed with the county clerk personnel change that would also include. So it's not possessive.
I think that was, never mind.
So Josh Teal, IT Director, it says instructed to make the changes associated with the board decision of moving payroll and NRP. So Josh instructed us to make the changes?
I can, but was instructed to.
Does that have to be in there? Any of it?
I don't suppose it does. You want it next? You want it next?
We already talked about moving the stuff.
Okay.
He was just gonna move the equipment.
Do you want me to put Josh on the other
I
one?
think he's saying scratch the whole paragraph, right? I'm good with that. You good with that?
Okay.
Because we'd already made the changes and he's just putting the phones in the desk in there.
That's all I see on the January 31st ones.
Okay.
And while we're on that, somebody pointed out to me that there are, on the online published minutes, they said something to me about there were mistakes all the way through on the stuff that's published online. I said, no, we corrected those. Maybe she posted them before we had them approved, and they told me no.
I don't approve them.
They said my signature is on there. So remember that week I found corrections that weren't made in the official copy that you gave us on the good paper?
Right, and then we
I think that's
re-sign it.
probably what's happened in the past. The corrections that we want to make didn't get made.
Okay.
So I don't know if we can go back and correct the ones that are on the website.
I mean, that's the only ones I have, are the ones that are on the website, because those ones are scanned directly in.
Okay, but I'm saying if I found mistakes on the corrected version before, what's to say that they weren't like that on the ones that have already been published on the website?
I don't know if you have specific dates, I can look and see, but.
I don't. I know they're out there. Because that's why I started looking at the corrected minutes to make sure that those were fixed and then found that they weren't, so.
But you don't know the dates of the ones that you
I
said
don't.
need corrections?
No, I didn't go back and
Well,
look.
I just can't rectify it if I don't know which one you're referring to, so.
I'm just saying there are mistakes out there, Kelsey.
Okay, well, like I said, we scanned in what we have and what was signed by you
Okay.
or the board.
So from now on, I'm going to double check
Sure.
on the final copy to make sure that it's
Absolutely.
fixed.
We're on the 7th yet.
I am looking at
Okay, down there where it says Commissioner Barnoff Struble motion. I'm not sure who made that, but it has Barnoff Struble.
Oh, it was probably just a
That's his first name, I guess, Barnoff.
Struble.
That or Struble's my last name, Barnoff my first.
I'll
I don't
correct that
know
one.
about this.
Angela Jolene and
Yeah.
didn't they mix them up?
Heck yeah.
On the same.
That's his stage.
I don't know who moved the motion to do it now.
It'll be on video.
I'll look at the video.
I guess my name's first.
What's it all about?
Did we bring down there on that? What is that? Should be 139,372.
The comma.
comma in there.
Oh, yeah, I'll put the commas in there.
And did we?
Same thing on the other
And
one.
then the one right below it too, Kelsey.
Yep, got it.
Did we take, we didn't take the money out of ARPA, did we, for the software for him? Did we?
No.
Today? So that, Richard, that county attorney budget transfer request to pay for new software, it was board consensus to pay it out of the ARPA funds.
Yeah. Yeah, that money for that, that's not an ARPA fund, not an ARPA expense. Right? My understanding is that.
That's correct.
Did we, but we did talk about taking it out of there?
No, that's not what it's for.
I didn't. We talked about that on the ambulance.
It was discussed because you guys are trying to figure out another way, because you didn't want to deplete the 066, but I'll double check on that one as well.
And then after Richard Raleigh, it says county attorney, there needs to be a comma after county attorney there.
Sure.
I just assume just have it in there, just a request for pay for new software update,
Okay.
There you go.
because we didn't make no decision to.
Right, I agree, there's no decision.
We made a decision today.
Does this sound right, if just a sentence, discussion of mediation clause with the KDOT agreement? Is that a complete sentence? I don't think that sounds right.
Oh, I thought you wanted to nix everything.
I just want to mix everything, just have to come out of software update, because we didn't make
So-
it.
That's fine.
Get rid of everything, just the software update,
Right?
up to software update, and that's
Did
it.
we make any decision on the KDOT agreement there that day though, or was it today?
No,
He
you
was
didn't.
gonna take a look at it and fix some stuff in there.
And he brought, yeah, but he brought back today, so we didn't have a
No, we
decision.
haven't done that yet on the KDOT agreement.
So there ain't no need to even
I'll go with that, yeah. You good with that, Jeff? Yep.
just mix it all and put, update.
Okay.
Because really all we have to enter is when we make the motion or decide to do it.
When you actually do something, you can talk all day long and not do anything. Sound right?
Sounds great.
So you guys don't want any of your discussion area, you just want motions only? Is that correct? I just want to make sure that I'm writing it
Yeah,
correctly.
when we make a motion or decide how we're gonna, like his stuff that he wanted today, we made the decision how he's gonna pay for it. That needs to be in there. Once we make the decision, right?
No, I'm good with that, yeah.
Once we make the decision how we wanna pay for it or how the money's being transferred, that needs to be put in there.
Right.
But, you know,
You don't want to, like, for
just-
reference, like we discussed it on this day in case, you know, an attorney asks or something of that nature?
I don't think we need.
When it comes to like
Until you
KDOT
actually do
agreements
something.
and stuff?
Until you actually make a motion to do something, I don't know that it's really necessary to be there.
Okay.
Commissioner.
How long do they keep the video on file? I mean, how long is it?
We don't know yet, it'll be on there forever though, probably.
Yeah, just kind of let the,
Commissioner Struble motion to amend the previous motion should go to Comtech Systems Corp. That's not, I don't know, that needs fixed, Kelsey.
yeah, I didn't know how you guys wanted to word it. I was trying to word it, but it was very confusing on the video too, how you guys had done that. So how would you like me to word that? Because it was, like I said, it was confusing because you got everybody talking over everybody during that section, so.
So you made the motion to amend the main motion, correct?
Yep.
So it would be just like any other motion, it would say Commissioner Struble, motion to amend the main motion. What was the main motion? I was trying to get it. The main motion was the request from CBN Print Services, and he amended that to change CBN to Comtech Systems Corp.
Okay.
Correct?
I think you're correct. Had a lot of stuff going through the old brain the last few days, so. It's hard, I'll be honest with you, trying to remember back a week, you wouldn't think it's been that long ago.
So you would like to put Commissioner Stribble motion to
Amend the main motion.
previous motion should be
Comtech Corp, Systems Corp.
Comtech System Corp, okay.
There's a motion where Jeff made a motion to approve an ordinance spending in the amount of $4,686, which should be 4,686.
And for P1 to fix the heater, is that P1?
That'd be the group that. Okay.
Well, then up above there's where it says, where I motioned to table the case of the SU 01-2022, not that big a deal, but there needs to be on the 10 a.m. Needs to be the two little.
Oh, the 0.
If we recess, do we need to go back in session again before we toured the boiler room? Or did we recess? Did we just go downstairs?
I don't remember.
We just.
I think we just went downstairs.
We're still in session though. If we're down there, we didn't adjourn until we're done.
Oh, no, I'm good.
One quick question. Did I hear you right that you guys aren't going to change the speed limit?
We are not. No, I did some talking up there. It sounded like more was against it than for it. So.
Thanks for doing that, Jeff.
And that goes with Chief too. I mean, he goes, you guys do what you want, but he goes. Personally, I would like to see it leave the way it is. That's okay. Kind of like him and I talked, and we talked in here, you raised it to 50, we was gonna be going 60, 65, you know? You got that truck traffic,
You wanted to go back.
well, I did, because there was a lot of other people that did too, but then you really get to talking to people that really matters, it ain't worth it.
I'm finished, you finished?
I'm finished.
You good?
I'm good.
You good, Sean?
I'm good.
Very good.
Everybody good? We're all good.
Gonna go gather cattle now.
I guess we can adjourn.
Birds.
They're done with it. They're done with it.
This will be like their second round.
They may have big ones though, right? 1,000 pounders?
Yeah, but they also feed the wooden bird tail deal, you know.
While they're on